Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to PFM TV. It's good to be with you here on Wednesday morning. We got a good show planned tonight. We got a really good show. We have Trader Drysdale coming on to the stream as a guest. That's going to be a good one because I just learned actually that he's the author of a best-selling book about futures. So I think that'll be a cool conversation. I'm excited to hear about his story and kind of how he went about writing a book. I think that's really interesting. We got some giveaways to do. We got some Blue Guardian and some Top One Futures accounts. So they're sponsoring the stream. So that's great. And yeah, guys, I mean, we got some good stuff going on. As far as my accounts go, I am pretty close to this payout, so we can go over where I'm at on these Tradeify accounts. Also, we did end up passing the my funded futures evals, so I got those funded, and I actually took a winning trade in the Asia session to kind of like get things started. So I could go over that as well. I think we got a good show planned, man. I do. What's going on, chat? How we doing? Yep, I see some familiar faces in here. Hey, we got Adam in the chat. Adam is from ASFX TV. What's up, bro? Good morning. What about Tradeify? No Tradeify giveaways today, but we still have the code with Tradeify that you can find on Prop Firm Match. Get the best discounts always on Tradeify. So, all right, let's get my chart up. Let's get into this. Let me get my screen. I think today is going to be a good day for markets. I just got a feeling, I do. I got a feeling. Hold up. There we go. There we go. All right. What is going on, guys? Let's do this. Let's get some NASDAQ on. Shivam, what's up? Good to see you. Kian, feels good Wednesday. Shorting NQ. Interesting. We're down for some shorts, huh? Hey, Nicoletta received her alpha account yesterday. Congrats. Nicoletta's a good trader. I'd be watching out. She might be getting that payout. Tristan, good morning. Dino, what's up? All right, cool. We're seeing some familiar faces. By the way, guys, always, please, if you want to support this channel and support what we're doing at this stream, go ahead and like the video. Always appreciate a like on the video. Goes a long way. Helps us out with the algorithm, all that stuff. And I did talk about potentially giving out loyalty codes. So I don't have an answer today, but, you know, I brought it up the food chain. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, cool. Good to see everyone, though. Very good to see everyone. So I kind of want to go over this NASDAQ. Got to get my coffee in. Got to get caffeinated, you know. I really like to short the NQ. I do. I mean, I don't think I'm one of those people that leans more heavily into shorts or longs. I'm not like one of those guys. I'll happily buy the NASDAQ or shorts. But when we are just like ripping face every other day, I start to get a little skeptical and I start to look for shorts. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to go over my view in NASDAQ right now, guys. Don't worry. And also, let me check. I mean, I think we checked the economic calendar already, but let's just double check. Make sure there's no news. So no news, man. What a weird week. There's like truly no news. Maybe this is because of the government being shut down. Maybe that's why there's no news. I really don't know. I have to look into that. But we do have news coming in on Friday. So we'll have CPI on Friday and flash manufacturing PMI. So I think Friday will probably be a pretty crazy day because the only news event all week, there's probably going to be some volatility, right? So you guys are thinking NQ is oversold. Wendy, what up? Music is bumping. Cool. Yeah, I'm someone, I need some music in the background when I'm trading, you know? I am God. Don't worry, brother. I saw your DM. I forwarded it over to PFM support. They'll take care of you. Don't worry. It takes a day or two. I said consolidation for yesterday, so I avoided later. Yeah, we'll take a look at gold too. I'm down to look at gold. But all right, first off, I kind of want to go over the short that I took on my brand new My Funded Futures accounts. Or actually, let's go over where we're at on my Tradeify accounts. So we did end up, I took some more trades in the PM session. So we took 2 wins in the morning that we did here on stream. And then I took another short in the PM session. It was another win. So it was a great day yesterday. Really, I'm risking very small. So these are my 5 50K Lightning funded accounts with Tradeify. I have technically met the profit target for the 10K payout on all 5 accounts, but I need to get my consistency score down to 20%. So the reason this is because there was one day where I made a little too much in the day. It affected my consistency score. So I got to get this. Let's do the math real quick, just so we know like kind of what are we looking to get. I need to multiply this by 5. 662.50 times 5. So I need to make another $300 on these accounts before I'll be eligible to request the 10K payout. So, you know, we're real close. I just got to stay locked in and risk small, you know, trading 2 to 3 micros per trade. I look for 25, 50 points maximum if the trade really makes sense there. And then I shut it down. Maybe we get it today, maybe we don't. You know, usually I make around $300 on a winning day, sometimes more, sometimes less. So I don't want to say we'll definitely make it today. Who knows what happens? But, you know, it's in the crosshairs for sure. This is my total P&L on the accounts. I haven't had a red day yet. I'm not trying to say that in a cocky way. I'm sure it can come, but hopefully we can just lock in this payout before a red day, you know? It's been all green days. Win rate is 71%, about 72%. Average win-loss per trade is about 1-to-1. Net P&L 15K. So, and again, this is all from just base hit scalping. I'm not looking for home runs. I'm not looking to, just go crazy and make $1 million. I'm looking to lock in base hit after base hit each day. And they add up. The base hits add up, guys. That's the point. So yeah, I mean, we're doing good. Now, as far as the My Funded Futures accounts goes, so I got those funded. I got the credentials last night. And I saw a short opportunity. So I'm going to go over the shorts and then we'll get into what we're seeing on the markets today. All right. So you see, took one short and was a little more aggressive, but nice start to these accounts. So $500 per account, just first trade. I can go to the executions. We can go there on TradingView and I'll go over that one. Were you guys watching those earnings, man? Those Netflix earnings really sold the market down. It's funny because I was hoping for that market sell-off all day, but we had earnings. So a lot of times where we have earnings at 4 p.m., the market's just going to be in more of a consolidation. You're not going to get that move until the earnings release. So we had Netflix earnings. So it pushed the market down a little bit, but it didn't do anything too significant, right? Like it didn't, we didn't fall off the face of the earth. We're still just kind of stuck in a range. But let me get my executions up so we can see where I took the trade. I took it on NQ, not the micro. So yeah, it was right here. I caught a short on this leg down. And if we go over it, I do think shorts could make a lot of sense today. So we got to see where midnight price is. But for this trade, the thought process was this was the Netflix earnings sell-off. And I was looking for just a quick continuation leg, right? So on this sell-off for the Netflix earnings, we made a 15-minute fair value gap right here. Okay, so my thought process is just short while we're inside this gap. I mean, if we're inside this gap and holding it as resistance, I'll take a short and I will look for this low to get taken out. And that's it. Really simple trade. So if we go to the 5-minute, because I did enter on the 5-minute. I didn't have the most perfect entry. I got in on this candle. But again, stop above this high, above this 15-minute fair value gap. We were looking for these lows. I caught about 1-to-1 on this trade. No, that's it. Nice little start to the My Funded Futures accounts. Again, guys, with Code Match, My Funded Futures is also one of my favorite prop firms. And right now on their cheapest accounts, the 50K core account, usually the profit cap is 1K per payout cycle per account. Right now, the payout cap, they're letting you get a free add-on where your payout cap is 3K per account, which is a major difference, bro. Like, I usually don't trade these 50K core accounts because I don't want to spend all that time getting them funded, to get a payout and only be able to get a max 3K payout per cycle. It's just not really worth it to me. But with this add-on that they're doing, I was able to get, now my max payout per cycle could be 9K. That makes it worth it. So really good deal with them. And you really can't find discounts anywhere with My Funded Futures except on Prop Firm Match with 5%. MobFX, I DM'd you. Yeah, guys, so what I've been doing is because I get so many DMs, I'm not replying to every single DM, but I forwarded all of them. I remember you, MobFX. Don't worry, I got you covered, bro. You're going to get your account, sent it over to the PFM support team, so they're going to handle it from here. Do I always prefer 1-to-1? Yeah, but it's not like black and white with me. I'll happily trade. I will happily trade like a 1-to-2 every now and then. But yeah, generally I'm looking for those base hits because it's just a bit easier to execute when you're just looking for a quick move. That's what I've learned. And I've traded a lot of different styles. Okay. I've had some success with like a high risk reward, looking for 1-to-3s and all that. It works. I've had the most success looking for base hits, keeping my win rate a little higher, just getting in and out. Can we give discounts for Forex firms? I mean, yeah, Prop Firm Match has a ton. If you go to Prop Firm Match, Forex is the first option on the page. You're going to get all the best discounts right here, right on the page. Most of them are always under Code Match. So Funding Pips, you got 20%. The Fivers, you got 5%. Alpha Capital, 25%. Like, you got all the best discounts you could find at Prop Firm Match right on the website. But all right, so let's go over kind of what I'm seeing right now, because I do think there's some interesting ideas for today's price action. My funded futures or alpha futures, which one do I prefer? You know what? I haven't traded with alpha futures personally, Dino, so I'm going to have to go with my funded futures. I think alpha futures is good from what I've seen. They're listed on Prop Firm Match too, so they're trustworthy. Definitely a good firm. But I got to go with my funded futures because I've taken payouts from them, you know, and every time I take payouts from them, it's super quick. Like I'm talking 15 minutes to an hour, like the money's hitting my bank. So it's pretty sweet. Do I work on one strategy or more than one? I have a couple of different models. So I have a mechanical based trading model that I teach, which you can actually find on my YouTube channel, which is in the description of this video. So you can find that there. It's my most recent video. I made it a few weeks ago. I have a mechanical trading model that works really well. But then I also like the other way that I trade is just a little bit more discretionary, but I'm still always using the same concepts, right? So I'm using ICT concepts with volume profile. So I might have some discretion with how I enter and exit, but the concepts are the same. Today looking for some shorts. Yeah, I agree. I kind of like shorts. Which futures prop firm is the best, do you think? I really love Tradeify. I think they're one of the best, especially for instant funded. I think they're great. But then you got a ton of good futures props. You got Tradeify, you have My Funded Futures, Top Step, you got Top One Futures, Alpha, Blue Guardian. Like there's a lot. Ooh, Sam. Okay, the market is above the midnight open, is premium and below. It is discount. Am I right? Yeah, I'll go over that right now. Let's take a look. I haven't actually marked the midnight open yet today. Okay, so we got midnight open right here. Let's mark that off. Let's drag it out a little bit. Oops. Okay. So there's our midnight open right here on NQ. It's coming in at 25,290, right? So currently we are below midnight open. So the way this goes is from 9 a.m. on. Okay, so from 9 a.m., if we haven't engaged midnight, we are more likely to engage midnight in the first hour or two of the New York session. So we can use midnight as a simple gauge for, just like you explained, Sam, if we're below midnight, the market is in a discount, okay? Discounted portion of the daily range. If we are above midnight, then the market is in a premium, okay? So above midnight, premium, easier to short. Below midnight, discount, easier to long. Again, it's not black and white that it'll just always be like that no matter what, but it's a really good line in the sand for the first like hour or two. After that, you've probably engaged midnight and then you might be just heading, the market might be expanding. So this is most powerful to go about that concept in like the first hour or two of the session. But all right, so yeah, I think we'll probably engage this midnight price. I wouldn't be surprised. We're pretty close to it. We're kind of in a range. We do have some equal lows right here, so this is a really good sign for me for shorts if we can hold these, right? We got some stacked up lows right here, 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 and here. So what I would actually love to see is for the market to continue up for now, and maybe, we have an hour until the open. So when the open comes in, maybe we'll already be above midnight and we can find a setup, something like this. So hopefully this market kind of grinds higher until the open. And then maybe we can come up, maybe we sweep out some of this liquidity, whatever the case is, consolidate, and then maybe we could find, a short to take out these lows. Because I do think we'll probably come for these lows today. They seem pretty, seems like a pretty clear spot right here. So something like this could be cool, something. So we'll be watching. I do like the idea for us to go above midnight at the open, and then we can kind of short above the midnight open. Good question, Sam. Can the market retrace to midnight once, twice, or thrice in a day? I mean, technically, yeah, it totally could. But the reason why we use the midnight open is because there's actually data that tells us that roughly 70% of the time, the market will retrace to the midnight open in the New York session. So once it's retraced to once, that's the data set. Okay. I don't look at data for if it retraces twice or 3 times. You're not looking for it to retrace over and over. It's really like a one-time thing. So if it retraces to midnight, you have 2 options. You trade towards midnight, use it as your target with that data in mind. Or if we've already retraced to it, you can still use it as a simple idea. Like if we're above it now, we could be in a premium, as long as it makes sense for there to be a short. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Vinayak, if you haven't received anything since Monday, go ahead and DM me one more time on X. Let me know that you are Vinayak on YouTube. Just remind me that, and I'll take a look after the stream. So my bias is sell. Yeah, loosely. Yeah, I think it's sell. I think we could come down for these lows. So I would love to see this go higher, and then we could use these lows as a draw on liquidity. Also, like higher time frame. This is the only thing. So let's clean this up. We still are inside this 4-hour bullish gap. So if you see right here, yesterday we tapped it. This is when we took longs on stream because we tapped that 4-hour gap. Then the market came back again, tapped the gap like to the tick and started going higher. It's just in a weird spot. If this gap holds as support, we could absolutely just rip to the all-time highs, like easily. So I don't want to be overly bearish right now, because if something like this occurs, I want to be ready for it. But I do feel like we will probably take out these lows first regardless. So like in a bullish scenario, what I could see is something like this. So we stacked up all these lows, right? So maybe when the market opens, we see something like this. Oh, let's get midnight back up. Hold up. So maybe something like this, guys. Retraces to midnight, whatever. We get our sell off. We come down into the gap and then bounce from there to the all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like this 4-hour fair value gap can definitely still hold as support to take us up to new all-time highs. So this is a strong level. I just think, again, I like to look at equal lows, double tops, double bottoms, right? We kind of have relative equal lows right here. So I just think we could come down one more time, stop out these early longs, mitigate this 4-hour fair value gap a little deeper, maybe get to like the midpoint or even down to the end. And then that could be the juice we need after we take this liquidity, tap into this level one more time and come for the equal highs. So yeah, so that would be like a liquidity grab. Absolutely. 23.11 is what I'm seeing as midnight price. Let's see. Are you looking at the futures contract? Because if you're looking at a CFD chart, you're going to have different prices. I look at the futures contract because that's the real instrument. Yeah, we got midnight price on NQ on the December futures contract. It's coming in at 25,291. Yeah, so BB, if you're looking at a CFD, you're looking at futures. No, this is definitely the midnight price. I even have an indicator that helps me find it. So yeah, this is the midnight open. Remember, okay, last thing that you might have messed up. It's 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's the 12 a.m. opening candle price on Eastern Standard Time. So New York time. That's very important. Okay. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in. To utilize the midnight price when we're talking about it and we're talking about the data, we're talking about 12 a.m. Eastern Standard. So you might have to do some time conversion if you're looking at it on a different in a different time zone. Damn, Sam says, I learned midnight open strategy from your channel yesterday, and today in gold, I captured 1,000 pips. What? Sick. Dude, awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of people loved that video. That video of mine did really well. I think it's because I gave a very clear-cut strategy with like clear guidelines, clear structure. Just follow it and it will work. BB, literally all you have to do, my friend, like the indicator is helpful, but I think this is a paid indicator that I have. Literally just go down to a 1 minute chart. If you're on the futures contract, you might be the last thing that might be changing up your price. You might be on the continuous contract. So if you're on the continuous contract, the prices can be a little different. I'm looking at the December contract. So MNQZ. You might be looking, let's see if the continuous contract looks different. I feel like that might be your issue here. No. On the continuous contract, it's coming in at the same price, 290. Not sure why you're seeing it differently, but like I said, bro, all you got to do, go down to a 5 minute chart. This is the opening candle price right here at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It opened at 25,290, 290.75. Literally, this is the 12 a.m. candle, right? At 5. Like, that's all you got to do. This is the opening price of that candle at 12 a.m. Can we connect TradingView with Project X? No, I don't believe so. I don't think you can do that. Well, if you're using like third-party copiers, you might be able to do it, but you know, not really something I do. Yeah, guys, I recommend looking at the futures chart if you're trading NASDAQ because it's the most accurate pricing. It's the actual data feed. So like when you're looking at a CFD chart, you're getting a mirror of the data feed. It's not the real data feed. The futures contract, when you're looking at the chart on the futures, it's the actual regulated, centralized data feed. It's why people like trading futures. Yeah, Sam, there are some free indicators. So I use this one. This is from Edgeful, which was like a data software. I don't even use them anymore, but I still have access to the indicators. So, and they keep it really easy because they just put a blue line there for me. Gold pushing up. We can take a look at gold real quick. Yeah, I don't know if I would call that pushing up, but it's trying to stay alive. I mean, we had another sell-off in the overnight during the London session right here. I mean, gold is getting ready. Gold is in a retracement, guys. I think gold is getting ready for a deeper retracement on the daily. This is really your line in the sand. So I had this marked out for you guys yesterday, for you gold traders. This daily fair value gap. This is what I'd be watching on gold. If you get a daily candle closure below this level, so that would be like 40.38, I think you can go lower. I think you can go a little bit lower. So I'd be watching out for this level. I think this level is very important for the bulls. It can still hold. Remember, a daily candle isn't going to close for another like 8 more hours. So by the time the market closes, this could just be a wick and we could be going higher again. So I don't think buys are off the table because you are inside a key level, but you know, I'd be a little cautious. Do you know about footprints? So not really, Tarak. I don't use footprints. I've looked into it a little bit, just didn't really speak to me the way ICT and volume profile spoke to me. I'm sure it works. I know a lot of people. I have friends like my buddy Austin, who actually will be a guest soon, Austin Silver. He uses Bookmap. He loves it. It helps him a lot. It's just, I don't know. I looked into it. It just wasn't my thing. I like looking at pure price action. And the only other tool that I use is a volume profile. Like I'm chilling with that. That's all I need. Yeah, BB, I don't know what your indicators just got to be wrong, my friend, because you don't even need an indicator, bro. Like literally just go to the 5-minute chart, identify the candle on the 5-minute chart that opened at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard. This is the opening price. It's 290.75. You don't even need an indicator. This is the, just look at the 12 a.m. candle and look at the opening price. So what are footprints? So footprint charts, there's a few different options with footprint charts that you can use. There is Bookmap, which, I mean, we can look up. I can show you guys what Bookmap looks like. It's kind of crazy. Like, this thing just looks insane to me, which is why this is what the Bookmap looks like. So this is why I was like, this just looks crazy, bro. Like, there's all these dots, and what they're doing is they're showing you the actual orders that are in the market. So these bubbles, like the bigger the bubble, the more orders there are. There's these lines. So when there's like deep red lines, they're telling you there's a lot of resting orders up there. So you can kind of get an inside look into the market. Again, this is just like too messy for me, bro. I don't see any reason to use this, but I have friends that use it and like it and they love it. So that's what it is. I do not use Bookmap though. Okay. So that's order flow. And there's one other type of like order flow tools, and that's a footprint chart. So I could show you a footprint chart. And this one makes a little more sense to me on being helpful, but I don't use it. So a footprint chart is going to look like this. So what it's going to do is it's going to actually tell you how many bids and how many asks are inside each candle. Okay. So it gives you the true, that's why they call it footprint. You're kind of getting like an X-ray view into the candles, and you're seeing how many orders and bids there are inside each candle. Again, I don't know the strategy on how they use this. Like, I don't know how they find edge in using it. I'm sure there's strategies that you can find on YouTube or through a mentorship. It's just a little too much sauce for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the need, but that's kind of the two options for order flow or footprint charts. They're interesting. They definitely have caught my eye and I've considered it, but I looked into it. It's just too much. What is this, man? Normal chart. I agree with you. I'm a normal chart guy. I don't need all that stuff. Bro, make a video on your channel on how to watch your videos step by step. What do you mean? How to teach people how to watch my videos? Do you mean like what I think is most important, like start to finish? You know, on my YouTube, guys, I just kind of make videos when I think it makes sense to make one, you know? Like, I do have a course coming out, which will be on ASFX TV. So you can check that out. That's like where I have a more curated discography of work, like from beginning to end. And I'm probably going to put it up on YouTube eventually too. But in the meantime, my YouTube videos are not like, they're not super organized. I just kind of make videos that I think make sense to make in the moment, you know? But if you watch all of my YouTube videos, there's a ton of stuff that, like, you have everything you need. Like, I have videos on SMT divergence. I have videos on inversion fair value gaps. I have videos on the midnight open price, on volume profile. Like, everything that I use is already there on YouTube. The top one scalper uses footprint. Yeah, no, there are some great traders that use it. I'm not knocking it. It's just not my style, bro. You know? Dino says, yeah, to watch me trade or learn my strategy. Dino says, type prop firm match in the live tab and click on upcoming live video. There we go, bro. I agree. You can learn everything. I mean, I trade right in front of you guys every day, and we call out exactly what we're looking at. That's what I'm saying, man. Remember, guys, shoot a like to the video. We can maybe run a giveaway in like 10, 15 minutes, so you can stay tuned. Let's try and get the video up to at least 60 likes. You know what I'm saying? So beginning to sell off a little bit right here. Honestly, we might come down for these lows before the 9:30 open. Is every video a strategy? Every video is not like a singular strategy, but like here, I'll show you. Like I'll try and give you an idea on what I think you should watch if you're new. So I mean, this model, the negative risk reward model, is just, that's a full-blown trading strategy that you can follow to a T. You follow that exact model, it's a profitable trading strategy. You have all the rules you need, and I made it as simple as possible. So there's one. Then I have other videos, like I have videos where I talk about my payouts, you know, and what I did to make the payouts. I have a video where I go over my volume profile settings. So if you guys do want to learn, you know, if you like volume profile, I could go over my settings here on stream too, but you know, you got that going on. Yeah, just, it's all over the place, I'll admit, but a lot of stuff on SMT, stuff on volume profile, on the 80% setup, which is a big setup of mine. That one did really well. So yeah, I mean, that's it, you know. Looking for a holy grail after 9:30. Hope today is mine. Yeah, Benjamin, what are you thinking, bro? A holy grail short? What's the idea? Yeah, I feel pretty confident we're gonna take out these lows. I just you know, I don't like to take a trade before the 9:30 open. If this setup was formulating at 9:30, I would maybe be taking this. I would be considering it. But there is a big knock that we're not above midnight yet, so you got to watch out for that. Hey, Josh, good morning, brother. Sam, I do use volume profile. I use it every day. Here, I have my levels up right here. So here's my volume profile levels: value area low, previous day's point of control, previous day's value area high, right? So, I mean, if you look at these levels, there's a lot of context here. Market comes down, tries to get above the previous day's point of control. It can't. We break lower. What do we do then? We're coming down right now. We're retesting the previous day's value area low. It's acting as resistance. And honestly, I think we could push down to these equal lows here. But I just don't want to take a trade yet until the 9:30 open. But one of the big rules that I do talk about with volume profile, Sam, is you can use a simple line in the sand being the previous day's point of control, right? If we're trading below the previous day's point of control, it'll be easier to stick to a short bias in general. If we're above it, it'll be easier to stick to a long bias. So that's like another little helpful line in the sand, you know, easy rule for people to follow. One more push up than a short with an inversion. Yeah, I think that could happen. I agree. I agree, man. Oh, Benjamin's holding a buy. Okay, at least your stop's at break even. So let's see. I'll wish you luck. I'll hope it's bullish for you. Did I learn directly from ICT? No, I did not. I learned just from a range of different traders, a bunch of different traders. I talked about this yesterday. I think I talked about this with Claudia Trades on stream. ICT's style just didn't really speak to me. I didn't really like his teaching style, so I learned from, you know, students of his. Also, today's guest, I think we've had quite a few ICT traders on this week, which is dope. I mean, I'm always down to talk to an ICT trader, but I don't think trader Drysdale trades ICT. I think he trades more VWAP based. I gotta ask him. So that'll be good to change it up a little bit. You know, we want to have a wide range of guests. Our guest comes at 9:30 a.m. It'll be a good one. I thought Darius was a solid guest too. I thought he was good. He was very knowledgeable too. and knowledgeable on ICT. So it's fun talking with people that can nerd out on ICT as much as me, you know? Dino, like 9:30, 9:25, so a little bit longer. Yeah, he wrote a book though, so I think that's going to be cool to talk about. I don't know what his book's about, so that'll be a good conversation. Yeah, John, our co-founder, he is really good on psychology. Yeah, he's always great to talk about trading with, like especially more of the like nuanced psychology stuff. Yeah, we seem to have good conversations. Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday's conversation. That was a good one. That was a really good one with him. I will watch your videos and tomorrow we'll ask questions in live stream. Perfect, man. Yeah, I got a ton out there for you. So watch them all. Make sure to like and subscribe. That supports the channel, supports this channel, you know. Yeah, I got to make another video soon. It's been a few weeks. I just was busy we were getting this whole thing set up, you know. But I'll get back on the YouTube grind. I'm going to make a video soon. But yeah, so what I'm going to focus on accounts wise, like I already made money on the My Funded Futures accounts. So I think we want to stick to Tradeify, right? I think that makes the most sense. We got to make $300 to get a payout. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to try and make $300 in 5 minutes. I'm just going to trade the way I normally trade with my normal risk and just take it from there. So not going to force anything. But I just want to make sure, I want to get logged in so we're ready to go with that. Also, if you guys do watch my videos, come back into the chat and like let me know which one you liked the most. So I'd love to get an idea on what seems to help people the most so that when I do make a video, I can make sure my time is not wasted and I make something good, you know? Yeah, I'm going to make it very soon. Benjamin, you're getting that pump, bro. You might be all good. Nicoletta, how's the FTMO doing? Oh my God. I mean, I told you, right? When I got the account credentials, I said, I'm taking a swing short and I'm just going to hold it. And my account is still alive somehow. I don't even know if anybody actually, since some of you guys trade CFDs, I feel like my FTMO account went below 10%. Like, I feel like I breached the challenge, but my account's not breached. It didn't take me out of the position. And now I'm back to like being down 7% floating. So is FTMO going to breach my account automatically? Or is it like, I don't know, my account's still running. I'm still in my trade. So I don't know what's going to go on with FTMO. I'm just holding it and hoping the market sells off in the next few days. And if I pass, I pass. Did I take any pre-market trades, Josh? No, I didn't take any pre-market, but I took a short on I took a short in the Asia session, which is pretty rare for me these days. I don't really take a lot of Asia session trades, but I could show you that one real quick. So I took a short here, and this was on the brand new My Funded Futures accounts. So pretty cool to get that started. And yeah, basically, you know, we have this sell-off at the Netflix earnings at 4 p.m. Then the market closed. We created this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. And my thoughts were just like, okay, we'll probably get a nice little rejection to take out this wick. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, kind of like not a super technical setup. Like I didn't get a perfect entry. But so we were inside this 15-minute gap. So this was like the line in the sand. And then I saw that we had another little 5-minute gap in here. So that's kind of like me narrowing it down. And I was like, hopefully we just hold this and then go lower. And we did. So yeah, but that was the short I took in the Asian session. Got lucky that I didn't want to go for these lows. I was like, let me just go for the low hanging fruit right here. Thankfully, got taken out, and then the market ripped for the rest of the night, or it ranged. It didn't really rip, but yeah, you get the point. Yeah, guys, we'll get ready to run a giveaway in a minute. Yeah, Dino, that trade's closed. I've been out of that trade. Do ICT concepts work in Forex? Yeah, they do. They do. I know Forex traders who use it. Did Tradeify approve my payouts? I didn't request them yet. So look, I was going over this at the beginning of the stream. I could go over it one more time though. I've technically made the profit target on these accounts, except this one technically. I don't know what happened here. I think the copy trader got messed up. But the profit target is 3K. The problem is my consistency score isn't down at 20 yet because I accidentally made a little too much. I made $662. That was my highest profit day. So I need to make my total profit needs to be 3,300 before I can request. So I still got to make an extra few $100, unfortunately. But we're close. So once I request, I'll definitely let everyone know. Tradeify is good though. I'm not worried about my payout getting approved or not. I've taken many payouts with Tradeify. I've never had an issue. They approve my payouts within like 2 minutes. Yeah, Dino. Okay, so after closing the trade, I should let the day get changed and then I'll know. Yeah, it's just weird that it didn't take me out. You know, I don't know if I just got lucky. Like, I don't know where I'm at on it. It doesn't look good. I took a terrible short, but I wasn't super focused on it. Like I passed phase 1 by just going short and holding it till it hit full TP. Like right now I'm down like 8%. So I don't know. I feel like even if I just let it go, and it ends up hitting TP. I feel like they're going to say, oh, you actually failed. So I don't know. I'm not thinking about it too much. They have not sent me an email, Nicoletta. That's what's weird. I never got an email, and I know it technically my equity went below 10%, but they never sent me an email. So it's odd. Shivam, so I do have psychology videos as well on there. Like on the video where I went over my 40K in payouts for the month. This is pretty much, I talked about psychology a lot. There's no technicals in here. So maybe check out that one. Run some cash giveaways for your loyal fans. I actually do run cash giveaways. Over the summer, I did a few of them on my X account. So if you follow me on X, I mean, I do that from time to time when I'm in the mood. I gave away like $100 like a month ago. All right, yeah, we can run the giveaway, guys. All right, let's do this, fam. Let's look at this. Where are we at on likes on the video? Yeah, we got like 54 people watching right now. That's good. We got 60 likes. So we hit 60 likes. All right, I'll run a giveaway for you. Let's get it going, fam. Hey, we got Natural Trader here representing the Drysdale Trading Group. Happy to be here. Let's go. Dino, if you get a payout from a giveaway account, bro, I will absolutely interview you, my friend. That would be sick. That goes out to anyone. Yeah, we got enough likes for the giveaway. All right, so we're doing Blue Guardian and Top 1 futures today. So we're going to do one giveaway account at a time, okay? Not two. We'll start it off with two. So we'll give away 2 Blue Guardian standard accounts, 25K chat. Let's do this. To enter the giveaway, I want you guys to type Blue Guardian in the chat, and we'll get it going. Yeah, keep them coming. We'll go till 8:53. So you got 40 seconds to enter. I can take a bathroom break. I actually don't need to take a bathroom break, so I'll stay here for this one. Usually I do try to be strategic. Where am I based? I'm based in Brooklyn, New York City. Home of the financial markets. You know what I mean? I'm in the thick of it, guys. All right, 5 seconds. 5 seconds to enter. 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. We're going to copy these up. I'll get these going for you guys. As far as futures firms go, what do you guys like better? What do you like? Do you prefer Blue Guardian or do you prefer Top One Futures? I'm curious. I've traded with Top One Futures and I've gotten payouts from them. So I love Top One Futures. They're solid. I've never traded with Blue Guardian personally. All right, cool. We got like 56 entries up in here. Benjamin says Blue Guardian is the best. Okay. A couple of people. Josh says Top One. A lot of people saying Blue Guardian, though. That's cool. All right. Let's run a duck race. Fam. I got to start looking up some other giveaway options. I'm getting bored of the duck race, personally, man. Maybe you guys aren't. Over the weekend, I'm going to do some research on giveaways, how to do everything better, how to streamline it a little bit more. Maybe we'll do some more interesting ways to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that over the weekend. We'll do sentence next time. I just a lot of you guys got like annoyed with me because we did the sentence. I did who says the sentence first, right? But everyone has like different network. Some people have network issues and they're like, that's not the first person who did it. And then there was like, it caused confusion. So maybe I'll try it again because I do like that idea. It's like super easy, but you guys got to just trust me that I'm not like, I'm going to pick the person whose name it was first on my end. But all right, let's do this. We got our names in here. Wait, I want to copy this again because I should have a little more names. Also, guys, remember, I need to say this. If your country is restricted, okay, if your country is restricted from trading with Blue Guardian, if you win the account, you're not going to be able to get it. And no, we can't like give you a different account or move it over to a Forex firm. Like we can't do any of that. So I just want you guys to understand that if you enter this giveaway and you win and your country is restricted, there's nothing we can do. All right. So I told you here first. On top of that, you can only win a giveaway once a week. Okay. Once per week. So if you enter and you win twice by chance, you're not going to get the account either. The support team is on top of that. So just wanted to add that caveat, guys. But all right, let's run this. All right, let's run it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, why is this getting in our way? Jesus, that ad's messing things up. All right, who's going to get it? I'm going with this guy. Mahid TV. I think he's going to take it. I think he's going to pop up. Oh, God. I could not be more wrong. Damn, astronaut out here. Damn. Bro, astronaut duck is out here, dude. All right, so what's your name again? S. Wilson. Please let us know you're in the chat and that you can claim your account. And to claim your account, what you're going to do is you're going to DM me on X, okay, at IamZarb. So send me over a DM and show me like the timestamp. Give me the timestamp and a screenshot of you winning. And we got you covered, bro. Oh, yeah, congrats. Is the U.S. restricted? No. No, if you're in the U.S., you can trade with pretty much any futures firm. I'm seeing some people saying Trader Drysdale is here in the chat. I don't see him. But if you are here, welcome, bro. Zach always telling good only, guys. I'm trying to do my best, man. Okay, we'll do sentence. Let's do sentence for this next one. See, but now I'm already getting people being mad. I have Stoic Capital saying don't use giveaway methods that penalize those who aren't in major U.S. cities with fast internet hubs. Bro, I can't, what do you want? What do you want me to do? That's why we do the spin. That's why we do the duck race. Some people are asking for to do sentence. See what I'm saying? Last time I did the sentence, people were getting mad. There's an emoji race in the same site. All right, I'm gonna look into that one, Siobhan. We can maybe run that soon. 5-point stop loss, 67 points TP, 0.1% risk. Send a markup of your thing, bro. I'd love to see your trade. You're killing it, Zach. Hey, appreciate you, man. We're doing our best here. Yeah, the loyalty points is a good idea. I said I forwarded that over to the team, so they're gonna look into that. Internet shaming. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting people trying to shame us. Use a random selector that is the only unbiased way. That's what I've been doing, brother. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll look into the loyalty points thing, guys. Let me see. All right, we'll run one more giveaway. This is what we're going to do, guys. To run one more giveaway, we are going to have you type in the chat. We'll give away a top one futures this time, okay? So top one futures account coming. And to enter, I want you to type top one futures in the chat and we'll do a spin. We'll spin the wheel. So do that and I will be right back, guys. So don't go anywhere. As soon as I get back, we will announce the winner for a top one futures account. Oops, sorry guys, I was muted. Thank you. I was just gonna say, can everyone just keep entering right now? You have until 9:04. Enter one more time so I can make sure I get everyone. You have until 9:04 to enter. Let's run it. So even if you entered once, enter again. Keep them coming. Bring them over. I'm not muted anymore, right? Nah, we're not muted. We're good. All right. You know what? Till 9:05. We'll go one full minute. Keep the entries coming. And this will be for top one futures, 25K, elite. Even if you entered once, enter one more time. I just want to make sure I get everyone. You got 45 seconds. Man, the chat goes wild when we run a giveaway, bro. Damn. $15 seconds. Zach be bobbing this morning. Yeah, man, feeling the music, you know? Also, when you're close to a payout, life is good, dude. You know, we just got to lock in this 300. I'm trying to stay even keeled, stay in a good mood. All right, that's it for entries, guys. I'm going to copy these. We'll get these going. A lot of entries. This is good. All right. Let me get these in. All right. So, guys, we're going to do pinwheel, I'm guessing. It looks like everyone wants to do pinwheel. Because I was down to do sentence for another one, but I guess people really don't want to do sentence. So we're going to do pinwheel. Let's run it up real quick. Let's get these names in. All right. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Sandhu Saab. You were the winner of a Top 1 Futures Elite account. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so Santu Sab, you are on the winner of a 25K Elite Challenge. Congratulations. Let us know in the chat that you are here. And okay, I see you. Good. So what you're going to do, my friend, is you are going to DM me on X, okay? I am Zarb. Please send me like a screenshot of where your YouTube channel is with a timestamp so we can double check. But that's all you're going to do, and the team will get with you, okay? So I'm going to add you. That's good. And guys, now we have Trader Drysdale coming on real soon. So we'll definitely run another giveaway when he comes on. But in the meantime, I mean, we're going to have a good conversation. Like I said, I'm excited for this one. Who's excited for Trader Drysdale? Is anyone in the chat right now? Anyone watching that's here for Trader Drysdale right now? When Dizzle Trading says, it's important to mention that you never fail to drop so many gems on the daily. I'm super grateful for all you've been through and how you give back. You were the best prize we could ask for. Thank you. Hey, that warms my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wendy. Cool. We got a couple people in here ready to go to watch Trader Drysdale. Let's get it. Trader Drysdale is fire. All right, cool, man. I'm excited because actually, you know what's funny? Me and Trader Drysdale, I hope I'm saying his name right. You know, we both are, you know, we know Austin Silver, and we're actually going to be doing like a seminar in Tampa. I forgot the exact date. I got to get the exact date, but it's going to be in May of next year. We're doing like an in-person trading boot camp seminar. I know that he's going to be a speaker, and so am I. So I just thought it was funny because I didn't realize he was going to be a guest. And then I was like, oh, wait, this guy's going to be on a seminar with me for like a boot camp thing in Tampa next year. So that's kind of cool. We can maybe talk about that a little bit. Your mind is about to be blown. He's the best in the business. By the way, Drysdale, this is Byron on my wife's YouTube. Okay, cool. I'm excited, man. First time meeting him. That's what's great about this stream, right? We really like... I don't know if we'll always have a guest every single day, but it's our goal to get a guest every day. And, you know, we don't want to just take the first person we see. Like, we want to get good guests, people that are going to be helpful, you know? So that's what's great about this stream. Yeah, May 14th. Okay, that's the date of the seminar. So that's going to be cool. So I'll be meeting him in person too. What is the latency on the stream? I'm not sure. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's like only a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. You guys might be able to let me know because you can see the market and then see where the stream is at. It's probably like 5 to 10 seconds. That's what it usually is. Chat, what are you thinking for bias? Let me know. We got a couple giveaways done. We'll run more. We'll definitely run one while Trader Drysdale is on. But what are you thinking on bias right now? If you had to pick bullish or bearish, let us know. Hey, Zach, cool to see you chatting with Chris today. I was in the Kill Zone stream with you yesterday. Great work. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was my first stream back in the PM session, and we also took a win. So we were 3 for 3 yesterday. Took 2 trades here on Prop Firm Match TV in the morning, and then I took another trade on stream later in the afternoon. Bronze Age Mindset looks like a great book. Yeah, bro. So I recommended that yesterday, right? Yeah, really good book. Really good book. A little controversial of a book, you know, but it's a good book. Okay, so Shivam says on the 15-minute and below, it's bullish. Okay. Robo Williams says bullish. Oh, Trader Drysdale's here in the chat. He's saying we got a 1-minute delay. Man, that's how it goes sometimes. Road to a Millie says bearish. I missed the Kill Zone yesterday. So pumped for that stream. Love the graphics. Yeah. See, so my mic is saying 6 seconds delay. So maybe it's different. Maybe it depends on the internet. I don't know. I'm not into the technicals too much like that, you know? Keep letting me know in the chat. I want to know, bullish or bearish today, guys? Let me know. I'm interested to see, because I don't know if Trader Drysdale trades prop firms primarily or if he trades personal capital. So that'll be cool to talk about. I'm sure he's been trading longer than me. If he's written a book on futures, he's definitely been trading longer than me. I've been trading 5 years, right? And I've been trading futures for 3. So I'm sure he's going to have wisdom and knowledge to give us, man. Bearish. I'm thinking longs until 25,300, then shorts. Careful, the internet gods can hear you. We're in Skynet now. What's Skynet? This is how much I don't know. I don't even know what Skynet is. Yeah, people can have different delays. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to chatting. Guys, Trader Drysdale is going to be on at 9:25, just in time for the open. And we're going to run it. Have a good conversation. Yo, we are pumping right now, chat. Market's ripping. Benjamin, you were in a long, right? That long's looking good now, my friend. He's been trading 15 years. Yeah. That's sick. I can't wait to get to that point, man. I'm in 5 years, right? I'm very transparent on where I'm at in my journey, guys. I've been full-time for a year and a half. I got so much to learn. You know, what I love about being on social media and streaming and my Twitter account or my X account is a journal for my progress as a trader. You know, this year I had my first 30K plus month, 40K in a month. That was a huge accomplishment for me. And it's all recorded on the internet as this journal. Watch the first Terminator movie. They mentioned Skynet. Okay, Kurt. You know what? I mean, I've definitely watched the Terminator. I saw it mad long ago, back when I was a kid. That might be a fun movie to watch again, actually. I haven't watched the Terminator in years. Natural trader, you're in 7 years. Nice, dude. Yeah, you know what I always told myself? I was just if I just submit to time and I never quit, I'll have to figure it out. That was my goal, bro. I had no other plans. I didn't go to college, man. I dropped out of college. I was a sponsored skater for most of my life, basically until 23, 24, where I just kind of traveled around, filmed skate videos. And, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I'm just so thankful I found trading, because for me, my dad's an entrepreneur. For me, it's just I always wanted to be more of an entrepreneur and kind of do my own thing. And, I think that's why a lot of us are trading, Josh says, bro, I'm about to hit my 1 year mark and it clicked for me last week of September. I love that, man. Yeah, I've been seeing your progress, bro. I've been seeing your progress, and it's amazing to see. And I love that because you specifically, Josh, you've been in all my streams. You trade very similar to me now. You've kind of picked up on how I teach and how I trade, and you're seeing the progress, which is just that makes me hyped. That hypes me up, dude. Just one payout and it will boost your confidence for sure. I know. Yeah, no, it's true. Getting that first payout is a big deal. I tell people, because I'm coaching a couple of people and I'm working with someone right now. And I was your goal right now, they're trading with Top Step. So with Top Step, you can get a payout fairly easily. And a lot of people, they're oh, I need to get this huge payout. You know what I mean? For my first payout. And I'm no, you don't. What you need to do is just get something. Even if it's a $200 payout, just get a payout, lock it in, because it will help you psychologically so much. Yeah, Benjamin, it's pumping, man. Exactly. I realized I've invested way too much time in this to quit, but it is in my blood, dude. Yeah, 100%, man. What up, Allie? Good morning. I would love if it's a pump and dump. I would love to take a short. ICT concepts in the chat. I mean, I trade ICT. Yeah, Zach, we need to interview you one day. Your story will be very inspiring to listen. I've done a couple of interviews. So I've done a podcast with Austin Silver. I did another podcast with the Traders Post. So if you search my name, I got a couple podcasts out there. Hey, Abby's in the chat. What up? Good morning. Run me a little market analysis. So you missed it, but I'll go over it again real quick before Trader Drysdale gets in the chat. You need VWAP. I don't need VWAP. I promise you, I don't need VWAP. VWAP's great, but I don't need it. I got everything I need right here. Good morning. How's the market doing today? Market is in a range. So, okay, real quick for Abby and anyone else that came in a little bit late, we can go over some analysis real quick. So first off, I'm looking at, let me go to the micros. So we got our volume profile levels up. We got previous day's point of control right here at 25,283. This could be a line in the sand for shorts or longs. The thing is so what we're getting right here is great. This is kind of what I want to see. First off, higher time frame. We have to remember we're obviously in a bullish trend and we tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap. Now, we've only just tapped it. So we tapped it yesterday. We tapped it one more time by a couple of ticks. And it's been giving support. It's been giving some clean support for the day. You know, yesterday we took longs here after we engaged that 4-hour fair value gap. But what's interesting is we haven't been able to make a new high. So we've kind of been stuck in a range. So our buyers getting a little bit exhausted here because these levels are not holding as strong as maybe they should. Possibly. But I also don't want to get too bearish. You know, I don't want to get caught up being too bearish. One thing I like though is we have all these stacked lows here now. So we have relative equal lows. You guys know I like to target those. So I do think we could see a move down to kind of sweep out these lows and just maybe fill this imbalance a little bit more. And then maybe we run up to all-time highs. I think that's possible. But what we're going to be using, as always, we're going to be using the midnight open. So ideally, we can get like maybe a little bit more of a push up so we can engage this midnight open price to fulfill the data sets on that. And then maybe if we get like a classic, you know, one of my classic mechanical midnight models, we get an inversion fair value gap to the downside, you know, we'll have these equal lows as a potential target and to fill this imbalance a little bit more. So I am looking at that. The thing is, though, we also have stacked highs up here. They're not equal highs, like perfect equal highs, but they're kind of like relatively equal. So we're stuck in a range, man. There's a few different scenarios. Like we could even do this, come up, grind up, sweep out all of this liquidity and drop it, come into this gap. I got a feeling we could like take both ends of this range today. It's possible. But, you know, we just got to play level to level, guys. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I would like to see the market retrace back up to midnight to fulfill the stat. And then we could, you know, we could use midnight as a general gauge, premium or discount, you know, premium above, discount below. If we could break back below the previous day's point of control after retracing midnight, that could be a good sign to target these relative equal lows. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. So I want to make sure we get Trader Drysdale ready to go in the chat. So just give me a second, guys. All right, and guys, so we got Trader Drysdale coming in like 4 minutes. So where we at real quick? Maybe we could try to run one more giveaway real quick. All right, we're at 83 likes, guys. If we could hit 100 in the next like 10 minutes, that would be fire. if we hit 100 likes, we'll run another giveaway. And what I'm going to do, real quick, I got to take a very quick bathroom break. Very quick. I was trying to hold it, but before we get our guest, I think we got to get that going. So stay tuned. Do not leave the chat, guys. We could talk about a giveaway as soon as I get back. I'll be like 3 minutes. So be right back, fam. And then when we get back, Trader Drysdale will be here to chat. So that's it. I'll be right back, fam. Peace. All right. What's up, chat? We are back, and we got Trader Drysdale in the house. What's going on, man?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Good morning yourself, bro.
All right.
Yeah, chat's been excited, man. I've seen a lot of people hyped to see you on the stream, bro. So
I see
welcome.
them. Yeah. So excited to have everybody here joining you from sunny South Florida. I know you spent some time here, Zach, right?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I'm from New York. I think we're both from Long Island. We realized. So
that's
you
right.
know how it is, bro. I got half my family's down there. They left me in the cold. You know what I mean?
Well, this is like New York with palm trees down here.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I got family in like the Tampa area. I lived there myself. Lived in Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale area for a couple of years. So yeah, I mean, I know Florida, man.
Yeah. Well, awesome to be here. I appreciate being brought on as a guest. It's always an honor and a privilege. And I see a lot of our team there in the chat. So I really appreciate everybody's support.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I know that the chat was telling me you've been trading for like 15 years. So you're kind of an OG, man. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
I've been trading 5 years and only trading futures for the last 3.
Right.
I'm sure you've seen like a pretty big boom in the futures market specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. And thanks to prop firms, especially. So I started in 2010 and I started actually with a prop firm, a real prop firm, where you had to show up with risk capital, $5,000. They gave me a desk. They gave me 2 monitors and a room full of stock traders. And it was in Boca Raton, 2010. And it didn't go well. I didn't lose money. I didn't make any money either. So,
Yeah.
but it was my first foray into the world of trading, and I was hooked immediately. Loved it.
So how did you even like find that back in 2010? I mean, I know the brick and mortar prop firms were that's what was going on, but how do you even get into that? Like, did you go to school for some type of finance degree, or because I know a lot of people in that world, a lot of them didn't even go to college, right? Some of the best traders from what I've seen.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I got my degree in marketing and public relations. So I had a career prior in marketing and PR. I worked for some big PR firms in New York City before I moved to Florida.
Okay.
And I moved to Florida, started a job at a big PR firm in 2008. And then what subsequently happened in 2008. We had the great financial crisis. So I had lost my job. I was unemployed and I was looking for something, right? Because there were no jobs in my chosen career field. So I knew a couple of guys just from my networking that made a lot of money not that long ago in the .com boom, and they had opened up shop in Boca, and they invited me to give my hand at it. And I'll tell you what, Zach, the education we had back then is nothing compared to what we have now.
Yeah.
Traders today are so lucky, and I firmly believe this is the golden age of trading for retail. Not harder, but easier. So not to say that it's easy. I just think that there's a lot more opportunities for people to make their way in trading than when we had back then. So I didn't lose a lot of money. I think I walked out of there with a check for like $3K, and after many months of trying, but I knew I'd be back. And I went on to trade, other asset classes, more swing trading, and built a business, became very successful in social media marketing. Sold that and went full force back into trading about 5 years ago.
Amazing, man. Yeah, I was actually just having this conversation with our co-founder, John. He was on the stream yesterday. And we were saying, like, even in the last 3 years, I feel like the boom in quality education was exponential, because I've been trading 5 years. And I even remember those first 2 years, there was not nearly as much quality education as there is now. Like, so it just keeps getting better and better. And like with that, of course, there's also bad education out there.
Sure.
But yeah, I totally agree. I think it's become democratized, especially with prop firms.
Right. Yeah, I think prop firms have done a great, there's a lot of haters for everything out there, and people will cry about prop firms as well. But, if you traded before prop firms, you know what it's like to lose a substantial amount of money trying to learn how to trade. And prop firms have certainly mitigated that for newer traders.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you first started trading, then even when we were on like the brick and mortar prop firm, I want to actually ask one more question on that. Were you trading futures, or were you trading individual stock?
Mostly large cap equities,
okay,
Amazon, Yahoo, that kind of stuff.
Got it. So then what made you transfer over to futures? Was that after you had a little break and got back to it?
Yeah, so I'm a pretty active trader in a lot of different asset classes. So I still trade options, stocks. I'm very active in futures and have been for going on 6 years. So, I still keep my hand very busy with a lot of different asset classes. But my focus with my community is certainly futures. I think it's the best entree for active day traders, people that are looking to build income or be really consistent in the markets. I think it's a great place to start, with low risk thanks to prop firms.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, a lot of people like to complain about the rules and all these things with prop firms, but at the end of the day, it's like there's nowhere else in trading or really anything where you can put in a couple $100 and take out 5,000, 10,000, like
Absolutely.
10x your funds. I mean, it's honestly ridiculous, the risk to reward that you have with prop firms.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite? Do you have like a favorite? Are you the type of guy that's copy trading 10, 20, 30 accounts at once between multiple firms? Do you do one account at a time? Like, how do you go about trading with futures props?
Yeah, I do a good mix, Zach. I'm actually always kind of switching it around a little bit, hedging my risk. I do trade a cash account. I often trade that live on stream. I'll usually pay myself right on stream. If I make, $600, $1,000 in my Trade lifetime account, I'll transfer it to my bank right there on stream. I do copy trade. I copy trade quite often with Top Step. I've done the 10, 20 accounts with Apex, pulled out some pretty big payouts, especially back in the day, $20,000, $30,000 payouts. But I do a mix. I'll focus on one account. I have an instant funded with Top One right now, 150K. Nice. I've taken multiple payouts out of them. It's been a great run. I'm well over 6 figures in payouts so far this year, and the same on my cash account as well.
Amazing, dude. I'm actually, I'm just closing in on 6 figures. I'm like,
nice,
maybe 13K away. And this was like a major, major growth year for me. Last year was profitable, but this year things really just kind of picked up. And I do want to get into the markets and learn how you trade. So if you want to get your screen up, maybe I'd love to just get an overview of kind of how you look at the markets. If you see any live trades, feel free to take them.
I'm a little new to this StreamYard thing, so give me a second while I.
No problem. You would just scroll down and click on present or invite. Yep. There you go.
All right. I think I see it. Now my screen's going to be a little different than yours. I use a lot of different tools here. I'm not a naked, I'll clean it up a little bit for the benefit of you naked chart traders. But what we trade, we have 3 major tools that we use in our trading. We use the VWAP, which I'm sure you're aware of. We use the volume profile, and we use the initial balance. These are all volume related tools. So we believe, and we're coming down to some key levels here, right? This is the weekly lower band. So we use a deviation on our levels. So the VWAP itself, right, is this orange level. This is the Globex VWAP. This is actually a weekly VWAP. All right, this is a deviation on the Globex. This is a deviation on the week, right? So to kind of explain the basics a little bit, we trade auction market theory, and we believe that the market is in either 1 or 2 states. It's either in balance or price discovery. We follow the institutional order flow. So when we're in balance, we see the hedge funds and institutions building their positions, they're accumulating. And then when they're done conducting business, they'll move to a new area of balance. So we use the VWAP, the volume profile, as kind of the hallmark of where they're doing that business. And then we have 4 core setups based on the book. So, I wrote a best-selling book on Amazon.com called the VWAP Wave System. And this book is based on the 4 core setups out of the system. So we use our tools to determine the market conditions. And then once we have established the market conditions, we can apply the proper setups. And we have very specific setups. We have the price discovery continuation. We have a return to value, fade value area extremes, and the VWAP bounce.
Interesting. So you have 4 different setups, and from what it sounds like, they're based around the current market conditions. So you have a continuation model, which I guess would be price discovery. You have mean reversion.
Yep.
How do you go about choosing which one? Do you have like specific entry? And I'm sure you have entry signals, but also like specific price action that you need to see, like certain conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and a lot of these behaviors are fractal as well. So, what we might see on the lower time frame might be different on the higher time frame. But what's beautiful about the VWAP itself is regardless of time frame, the price levels stay the same. Okay, so if I'm on the 1 minute, right, the VWAP is at 255, right? If I jump to the 5 minute, it's still at 255. Doesn't really matter what time frame I'm in, right? So the price levels stay the same. So, some other strategies, the problem I've always had was, a signal I'm getting on the 1 minute is not there on the 5 minute, it's not there on the 15 minute, So it becomes a little more difficult to align our multi-time frames. Whereas with VWAP and volume profile, they're just anchored at a specific point of time and the levels stay the same regardless. So if I want to just a little more of a granular approach, I could go to the 1 minute to dive into the price action a little bit, but the levels stay the same.
Yes.
Right. So the first setup, on the intraday chart, we're below the deviations, right? So again, this is the VWAP. These are the deviations on VWAP. We're trading below it. So what we're going to want to look for is a pullback to the deviation for the continuation play. Now, I'm sure you're aware of this, but a lot of the institutions and floor traders at the New York Stock Exchange that fill large orders, I'm talking about millions of shares, these guys have their algorithms programmed around VWAP, right? They're trying to beat VWAP price or get better than, and they're also programmed to the deviations of VWAP. So they make very reliable buy and sell spots.
Would you say they're looking at VWAP as like an area where there is fair value in the market? So if they want to be shorts, they want to try to position themselves short above VWAP to get a good price and vice versa below?
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yep. Or at it, right? Or it's a they're playing a different game than us.
Yeah.
Right. They're trying to fill millions or thousands of contracts, right? We're just trying to follow the action, right? They're pitted against each other. I always find it comedic when retail thinks it's us versus them, right? These guys are playing each other, right? They're looking to rob each other of big stakes in their positions. We're just kind of, just filament,
with
so
a little
to speak,
fish
on the side.
100%.
So, and we have the intraday volume profile, right? So we look at the structure of the order flow. We can see, even though this is very immature, we have just started, right? We're starting to see a little bit of structure forming where we have a distribution here and here. This is a low volume node, right? So this can act as a resistance or support point temporarily. I mean, we're so new into the session. The data is still very raw.
Yeah. The profile will continue to develop throughout the day.
Exactly. But,
you pay attention to
a short right around here.
Got it. Do you pay attention to how the like if the point of control of the current day shifts from the upside of the range to the downside? What does that mean for you? Like, is there something that you would take note of with that? Just because for context, I also use volume profile, but I specifically only use previous days, value area high, point of control, and value area low. Similar to what you were talking about, what I like about using the previous days profiles is that my levels are static. I know where they are throughout the entire day. But I know a lot of people use current day's profile and they have strategies and ways that they can analyze price based off how the profile develops. So personally, I'm just interested how you go about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the intraday point of control would be a sign that balance is moving, right? So when you build a point of control, that's the most popular price point, right? So that's where the most business is being conducted. So we can, in the developing profile, I can expect to rotate around a point of control, right? Previous days point of controls are a little more meaningful as a reversal point, but current days, I would expect us to rotate around. And I would look, if we have a high volume node and we have a point of control right in the middle, right? I'd be looking to short the value area high and buy the value area low, right? As we expect a rotation in that area. And then, if we materially left it, then I would expect put price discovery to a new value area, right? So price is always, according to auction market theory, right? We're building balance until we're done conducting business. We'll have price discovery. And what are we discovering? A new value area. And then price will just continue to do this ad infinitum.
By the way, guys, a couple of people asked if you have a YouTube channel. Trader Drysdale's channel is linked in the description of the video. So yes, he definitely does. And he was actually streaming last night. So you stream during the Asia session. Do you stream all different sessions, or like what's your schedule look like with streaming?
Yeah, absolutely. So I usually trade. I trade every morning live with my Discord. I do the open, and then I go live around 10 a.m. for about 10 to 11:30, 12 Eastern Standard Time. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, I trade the pre-Asia open. We're normally watching gold. There's a lot of activity there. If we have some activity in NQ, we'll trade that as well. So what I'm seeing here is a little bit of a failed breakdown here in NQ. Right.
Yeah. So when would you, because I know you were potentially short biased at first, is there any point where you might flip?
Yeah, so looking at, I've kind of moved over a different chart. We have some key areas that we broke and reclaimed, right? So that gives the sign of a little bit of a failed breakdown, which makes me a little more hesitant to take shorts, right? That's usually where our biggest moves up come out of. And I'm sure your models probably play into that a little bit too. You always expect the manipulation down, right? And then you're looking for the big move out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could do a quick, I want to go back to your charts because I feel like I'm learning a lot, but I'll let you guys know kind of how I see this right now as well, real quick.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, I trade ICT with volume profile. That's kind of where I maybe differ from a few other ICT traders. So I use the previous day's value areas, point of control, value area low, value area high. So what I was looking at, I have this box marked out. So this is a 4-hour fair value gap that I've been very aware of. Yesterday, we actually took longs on stream on this first retap of this fair value gap. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely acting as support for the time being. And obviously, if we zoom out, I mean, we're very much still in a 4-hour bullish trend. We have these relative equal highs coming up here at the all-time highs. So I think that could be a target as long as we hold this level. So right now, like higher time frame, this is my line in the sand, this 4-hour gap. If we get a 4-hour candle closure below 152, maybe I can start flipping my, I don't want to say higher time frame, but maybe medium time frame. Maybe we could see a rotation a little bit lower. But as of right now, what we've done, and we kind of called this on what I wanted to see something like this. So I had two scenarios I was looking at. I like to target things like double tops and double bottoms. Mm-hmm. So I saw these stacked lows. We have them marked out here. 1, 2, 3. They're not perfect equal lows, but they were relatively equal. So those are things I like to look for as price targets for trade ideas to give a directional bias. So I outlined two potential scenarios. First scenario, which I would have preferred to see, honestly, because I wanted to target these lows, was for us to grind up a little higher, and maybe I could position myself in a short somewhere around the previous day's point of control or midnight price. I also use the midnight open, which again, it helps me gauge whether we're in a premium or discount of the daily range, at least for the first hour or two of the session. Because there is data that roughly like 65, sometimes 70% of the time, we are retracing to that midnight open in the New York session. So it's something I like to look at because oftentimes we will retrace there. So I was hoping for a move up first, and then we could get some type of entry trigger to take out those lows. But instead, what we did, we just sold off immediately to those lows. Yep. So now, I mean, technically we're bouncing from a pretty bullish level. Just like we had these stacked lows down here. I mean, we kind of have them up here. We have a bunch of stacked highs. We're in a higher time frame trend. So ideally I try to stay in line with like the hourly trend, the 4-hour as a day trader. But so I could think of a long idea here to maybe come up towards midnight. We still haven't tested that level. So maybe I could formulate a trade idea up towards midnight, but I need to make sure I can get decent enough risk reward, or at least a certain amount of points. So that's actually where I'd like to go back to you. What is your average R multiple? Like, are you more of a quick scalper? Are you in and out? Or are you looking for bigger moves, holding your trades longer? Like, how do you go about it?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a scalper. Usually my trades last just a few minutes, and I like to take bigger size, right? So
Same here.
These levels are pretty reactionary for me. You know, what I'm looking at is the volume flow on the volume profile and VWAP, and I'm expecting buyers or sellers to step in at these levels, and I trade the reaction essentially in the direction of the reaction. So my R multiples generally hovers around 1-to-1. You know, sometimes it skews lower, even inverted. Sometimes it skews higher, as high as 1.5. But generally, I don't use hard risk to reward ratios. I trade the chart in front of me, so it can pan out over many hundreds of trades. That's generally where it lands.
Yeah.
I do have a maximum risk level. I do have a stop out for the day, things like that to keep my risk in check. But I take each trade on an individual basis. And the VWAP wave system is pretty heavily discretionary as well, right? We have to formulate trade ideas based on what the volume is telling us and coming up with trade ideas and key levels we want to trade. And I do believe that for the retail trader, that the edge lies in our discretion, right? And our ability to rely on our experience in watching the chart and trading setups and using our journaling to explore what's working, what's not working, and extrapolate our personal edge in the market.
Yes.
So I think those that are entirely mechanical are at a bit of a disadvantage because, it sounds nice because people always blame themselves for ruining their own trading, right? I didn't follow my rules, blah, blah, blah. So if I just had a mechanical system and I take me out of it, then I would trade better, right? But, it would be nice if I had an ATM machine that just printed out money too in my corner of my house, but also that might be a little bit of a fairy tale, right? Even these giant quantitative firms that do trade algorithmically, these are mathematicians and scientists and physicists that are constantly working on these things, right? So the idea that we're on that level is kind of silly to me. Is it possible? Sure. Is it a common thread that I see in successful retail trading that they have bots trading for them? No, I don't know many like that. Maybe you do, Zach.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you 100%. I've given the exact same rant multiple times because the whole mechanical thing, I just am like, if you're trying to trade a mechanical strategy, but you're manually pressing buy and sell, it's not mechanical. Like, first off, I don't care how much back testing you do. You're not going to be able to account for the human error that is inevitable. So just right off the bat, your data is going to be skewed. You can't manually press buy and sell and be mechanical. And
the sample size, right? When are you trading, right? If you're not taking every mechanical setup, how could it possibly be mechanical, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I completely agree with you. I think using technical analysis, we get a good framework. We get I see it as like a language. There's many different ways, many different languages, but we're kind of coming to the same conclusion. We're trying to understand what's happening. And we use those as like a framework and to give us the tools to enter and exit the market. But I also agree that a lot of the edge comes from that person. And I don't think you can like cut and paste somebody's exact strategy and get the exact same results. So you can learn from people. Even with me, like I trade ICT, but I also used volume profile because that just made sense to me. I didn't say because I trade ICT related concepts, I can't use anything else. So yeah, I mean,
don't want to pigeonhole ourselves like that.
Exactly.
If we zoom out a little bit here, right? So this little dotted line, that's the weekly VWAP, right? So we've been trading in balance pretty reliably to the outskirts of this, right? We just came down to it today, right? So this is the monthly upper band. So this is a price discovery continuation setup. This purple, right? We bounced on it 3 times. To us, that's a price discovery continuation trade on the higher time frame, right? So if we zoom out here, this is the weekly and the monthly VWAP. You can see pretty reliably, that green band is where we've bounced every single time.
Very interesting. You're on a 30-minute?
This is a 30-minute. Yep, but that level will stay the same. I'm just making it easier to see.
Yeah.
The price level stays the same even if it's the 1 minute.
Yeah, very interesting.
So this is a price discovery continuation play. We're expecting further upside as long as this upper deviation holds. We trade in the direction of the hold.
Yeah, I think
play.
Got you. I think I'm with you too. Intraday, I'm feeling more bullish. I think if I can get an entry up towards midnight, I'll take it, but I don't want to buy the high right here. So I'm going to try to be patient, see if I can get a slight retracement. And if I do get into a trade, guys, I'll let you know. I'm like $200 away from another payout with Tradeify on a 550K account. So
nice.
I went down to micros. I'm trading 2 micros right now. I don't care if it takes an extra 2 days. I'm going to lock that payout in instead of trying to force it. And how do you go about them? Like, so you've taken a lot of payouts with different props. Do you have, how do you go about it? Do you have certain methods depending on the prop firm and their rules? Like what does it look like for you?
Yeah, I'm a grinder. So I'll trade multiple prop firm, different accounts, one after the other live on stream. And with my bigger size, I can reliably hit, with 1 or 2 NQ minis, I'm going for on a smaller account, let's say a 50K. With a 50K, I'm looking to do about $500. And I can do that in just a couple of trades fairly easily, fairly fast. And then I'll just shut it down, come back tomorrow on that account. Then I'll move over to another account. I like to trade 150s a lot. In these accounts, I'm trying to do about 1K. And then I'll hit that and I'll move on to my next one. And my cash account, which I'll keep, $5,000 to $10,000 in. I'm looking to do about $500 to $1,000 in the cash account. And then I'll shut it down, take my profits and move on, right? And in about an hour and a half, I'm able to generally on a good trading day where I'm getting good setups and reliable, which is most days, I'm able to move through 3 to 4 accounts, hitting my profit targets and then being done for the morning.
Yeah, no, I love that. So I have a buddy who, I don't think he coins this term, but I heard it from him for the first time. He calls it risk sinking with prop firms. So, switching between your accounts. So you take a win on one account, you don't need to keep trading that singular account, move over to another one. Maybe you take a losing trade on that account. Okay. He moves over to another account. That way his risk is spread out and, everything isn't all on, one set of executions where, I like that idea. So I do a variation where I do copy trade, but I'm always trading with a few different firms. So like I have some Tradeify accounts, max allocation, I'm copy trading those. I have some my funded futures accounts right now. I'm copy trading those, but I'm doing them separately.
Right.
And I do the same thing, so if I take a couple losing trades on one set, instead of like feeling like I need to get it back, I always will just switch to another set of accounts because it's just safer in the long run for me. I can still feel like, I want to keep trading. I want to feel like I could end this day on a good note. We're human, we do that. So it's just a better way for me to spread out the risk like that. So yeah, I'm similar.
I agree with you. Hedging that risk. And it's a beautiful thing, right? Because we can trade multiple accounts and the more we're detached from the money, the better we trade, right? So the ability to move across different accounts and not be so invested in one area we tend to take our process oriented thinking a little more seriously as opposed to just chasing P&L. So I found when I move the risk around and I'm not so invested in trying to get this one payout from this copy trading 5 accounts, I tend to trade better.
Totally agree. What would you say what are some clear differences like on the psychology or the mindset of trading props versus a personal cash account for you?
So obviously the psychology is very different, right? Because I can blow a prop firm account and be like, okay, whatever, $150. But you take a $1,500 loss or a $2,000 loss in your cash account, that hurts, right? That's a lot of prop firm evaluations and funded accounts in one day, right? So the psychology is much more serious. I only recommend cash account trading for only the most experienced of traders. They've proven to themselves that they can get payouts in the harder rules. We see a lot of people thinking, it'll be easier to trade a cash account because I don't have all these rules, right? And in theory, that sounds good, but in practice, it doesn't work out that way, right? We're way more attached to the results, to the P&L. That loss hurts way more, it really, really does. So, take it slow, take it methodically, and earn your right to trade cash and take on that kind of risk. Because if you can't do it in a prop firm, I don't think you're going to be able to do it in a cash account.
I just got to the point of trading a cash account now. I started a few months ago. So before that, I tried in the beginning before I found props, but then I stopped and I agree completely. I think a lot of people think, there's no rules, it's easier. And they get jaded from prop firms because they're just not trading well. So they try to go, it's the prop firms, it's not me. Right. And so I
see that a lot, right? And those are from inexperienced traders that want to blame something aside from themselves. Right?
Exactly.
They're skipping accountability, will blame something other than me. It's the prop firms. Oh no, it's the data. Oh, it's the market, whatever it may be for that day. And I put this arrow on the screen here. This is a fade value or extreme short for our system right there.
Okay.
So if we're in trading imbalance here still, right, we expect a fade until we break out materially. There's a context change, and we haven't gotten one yet. So there was a short right there. And I see a couple people in our chat name. So what's nice about our system is that you can name the setups. So everybody will start being like, there's a fade value or extreme short off the upper band, right? So everybody's trading the same system. And everybody can, so that's a 20 pointer, right? With 1 or 2 minis, that's nice little hit right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That also lines up right with the previous day's POC and midnight right around
There
there.
you
So
go.
we did
Right.
engage
So
midnight price.
so
Yep.
that's great. So we talk about confluence, right? So if we
Yes.
have multiple stacked levels like that, like you're saying, yesterday's POC, this level, this price level, we have more conviction in hitting it.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, right now we're at my lines in the sand too, so we're rejecting them. Yeah. So when you're using, like if you were to go short, are you using any higher time frame analysis on your intraday trading, or are you mostly just focused on what's happening right in front of you?
I would say it's a hybrid of both. I think the
Yeah,
higher
same
time
here.
frames will give me a little more conviction. We have a grading system within the system, right? We have a B, C, and then there's a plus denotation, right? So the higher time frames add a plus. So the way we get an A plus setup in the VWAP wave system is we need 3 stacked confluences in one area or zone. And if one of them is a higher time frame, then we get the plus. So
Got
that's
you.
how we would get an A plus setup. If we have 2 stacked confluences and none of them are higher time frame, that's just a B. If one of them is a higher time frame, we get a B plus. And then just one level, right, is a C. If the high time frame level, it's a C plus. There's no D. Everything else is a big fat F.
Got you. Got you. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Higher time frame for me is the same thing. I just think if we're intraday trading and we can frame out an idea around a higher time frame level, while it's not absolutely necessary, the reality is you're likely to get some form of a reaction intraday that can allow you to just like exploit that high time frame level to get in and out on a quick move.
100%. Yep. We do something very similar. Absolutely.
I can run into my charts real quick. Let me know if you see anything. I'll kind of go over what I'm looking
We're
at.
holding VWAP right here at 253.
Yeah, guys. So again, this was the previous day's POC. So we just kind of wicked it. No closure above it, which is very interesting. And I would consider midnight engaged here. We missed it by a tick. I'm not going to be a stickler for a couple ticks. But now, I don't know. It's just a bit tough because I still am very aware that we're bouncing from this higher time frame zone for me. And the market's just been so bullish, man. Like every time we get some type of pullback on an hourly that you think is like, okay, maybe we're going to start really retracing. It just never happens. We bounce into like the nearest key level on the higher time frame and we just go higher lately. So I'm just really cautious about getting short after we've engaged this level. But technically, a lot of my levels are saying we could go a bit lower, like as long as we hold below midnight and the previous day's POC. So I may consider a short, but it's also hard for me to determine a draw on liquidity now because, before I had those equal lows. That's very important for me is target before entry is like absolutely key. So I'd rather focus on where I think the market is going. And then once I can determine that, I think my entry signals, they kind of find themselves a little bit easier. So right now, the only problem is I wanted this as my target. I don't see a clear target right now. Like I see this as a liquidity sweep and a pretty bullish reaction on the 5-minute. Yeah. So do I want to get short right here? I'm not sure. I'm still a little bit hands off. We're kind of slightly trying to bounce from the previous day's value area low, but I think if we can break maybe like 240s, I can maybe begin to try to look for a quick short scalp. And I'm similar. So I trade on average, my overall win rate is usually around 1-to-1. Just like you, sometimes I'll catch a 1-to-2, rare occasions a 1-to-3 when it makes sense. And same with you, I'll happily target a 0.5 R trade. I do it all the time. I'd rather stack the base hits and lock in more wins. So if I did take a trade, we wouldn't be looking for anything too crazy. I'd probably be looking for maybe 20 to 30 points if it makes sense. But yeah, as of right now, I still got nothing that's screaming out at me just yet.
We did close the gap on the Globex overnight gap.
Okay.
So that was tagged at 290. I'm still seeing bullish behavior here.
Yeah.
We also take a look at the New York VWAP. Right. So let's go down to the 1 minute and let's drop ourselves a New York VWAP. And if all things considered, if we just kind of hide this so you can see it a little clearer. Whoops. right? So when we're trading above or with that upper deviation, that's bullish behavior.
Yeah, got it.
And we also watch the cumulative delta, so buyers versus sellers. And so far, we have higher highs on the delta. So the buyers have been fairly aggressive since that dip here around 935.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Also,
see.
this week's been a bit weird. There's been like virtually no high impact news all week.
Yeah, no, it's been a quiet week for sure. Aside from Mr. Trump dropping some tweets on us, but
when was that? When did he do that? I didn't even realize.
I think it was yesterday, he was like, maybe I will be meeting with China's president. Maybe I won't be meeting with the president, right? Every time he kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah. We also had Netflix earnings, so that brought some volatility, but we've still been stuck in
relatively minor. But as far as we're
exactly.
concerned, we're still trading in a balance zone, right? So we're not expecting any continuation while we're still in this price area, right? This tends to be choppy. We probably have some bigger players doing business, right? Once they're done, we can expect some upside or downside, right? But this whole area is kind of in a chop zone. Big rotations though, because we're looking at a 130 point rotation area.
Yeah. Do you prefer trading in more of a trending market, or do you like what do you prefer more, trend continuation or mean reversion style?
I love to fade the market, Zach.
Yeah,
it's just in my blood, right? I see strength, I want it to go down. I see weakness, I want to buy it, right? That's typical retail behavior. I program myself to not do it in the worst of conditions, but I clean up when we're in a balanced market, right? So if we're ranging, I do really, really well. I've programmed myself, and thanks to the system, right, to be able to recognize real price discovery conditions that I shouldn't be shorting or buying, and if I do, only the best of the best higher time frame levels. And that's really cleaned up a lot of my trading because of that. But yeah, I love to fade. I love mean reversion.
Yep, same here, man. I've went through the exact same process where I was always trying to spot the reversal. I'm over that now. Like, I'll happily trade trend continuation. But I also do well when we're in a balanced price range, especially if we're in like a balanced price range on a daily chart. And I know the clear defined range high, range low, range midpoint of a daily time frame, because then we could still trade trend continuation based off the hourly and the 15-minute. We could be in a clear trend, but we have very clear targets as well. And I could anticipate where we're going to mean revert as well. So yeah, I really love trading like daily ranges. But for me, what helped a lot with not trying to always spot the reversal was just understanding if I could stay in line with the hourly and the 15-minute current trend, I could still play reversals off of the 1 minute in a lot of situations, right? So I just kind of zoom in. So if we're in a 15-minute trend, I'm waiting on the retracement, and then I'm zoomed in on that 1 minute. It could look more like a reversal, but I'm really just trading a trend continuation.
Yep, I could see that. I love that. So here we would be watching at 221. We have the monthly upper band again and the lower band on the session, right? So this would be a B plus setup area for us down here at 221. So I would expect a little bit of a bounce, right? And whether it's this type of bounce or this type of bounce, it doesn't really matter to me. In both scenarios, I win. The only time it doesn't win if it melts right through the level. Yeah,
you can capitalize off that volatility to grab your viewpoints. Actually, this is a question I have for you then. How do you like to enter the market? Do you get in at the market price? Do you use limits, stop orders?
So I generally trade off the DOM, right? So I'm trading the ladder, right? And I'm almost always using limit orders, trying to get the best price. So we call it working a bid or working the offer, right? So if I'm trying to get long and my price level is down here, right, I'm working a bid on this side of the DOM. Right, trying to get the best price because we know how NQ loves to move, right? One little bounce off my price level and I'm sitting pretty. Same thing if I'm looking for a short, right? I'm on this side of the ladder. I'm trying to work the offer, trying to get filled on a good limit. Almost never trade market orders.
Same here. That's so funny. We trade different concepts, but there's a lot of similarities between our trading. So yeah, I
noticed that too. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I enter on limit orders as well. I like to get the price that I want. It also, what I've noticed psychologically, I feel like I hack my mind a little bit because I'm somebody who likes to take trades. You know, I'm not one of those people who's afraid to enter the market in most situations. So when I was getting in at market orders, which I did for years, you know, a lot of times I have that initial first compulsion to want to get into something, and I just hit the market because I have that compulsion.
Right.
So when I switched over to limit orders, I've noticed if I set my limit order on a trade idea, I kind of satisfy the compulsion to press the button.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times I set a limit order and within 30 seconds, I'm like, I don't want to be in this trade. What am I doing? And I cancel the order.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Same here, man. I mean, there was a time where, you know, I would set my trades, or after a trade, I would take my mouse and literally put it in one of those time safes, right? With a 5-minute, you know, because the compulsion is real. It's very real. The dopamine, all of this stuff does not help us think logically, right? And we trade our dopamine and our emotions. We're not trading our system, right? So we have to literally we have to combat that. And I saw somebody in the chat say, how did I break out of the struggle phase, right? And in my book, I call it the almost phase, right? There's a whole chapter in my book about the almost profitable trader, right? How we've sunken in all this time and work, and we still haven't seen the fruits of our labor, and we feel like we're almost there, but we just can't seem to break out of that phase, right?
That's a lot of people too.
It's a lot of people. And we've all been there. No, anybody who says that they were immediately successful, I'd be very sus of anybody who says that, because generally this is a craft that takes years to get good at, right? And even then it's a process, right? It's not like overnight you wake up and you're a great trader. It's a journey, it's a process. And there's a lot of setbacks along that way. So, you know, I've only seen it come from vigorous perseverance, journaling, and the willingness to change. Because if you don't change your ways, you'll just realize stagnation, right? You have to force yourself to look at yourself and what you're doing wrong, and not from a negative place, like, oh, I'm an idiot or I'm a degenerate, or, you know, from a place of, you know, positive critique and willingness to change.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's actually someone asked, is there an ebook version?
There is. It's on Kindle on Amazon, the VWAP wave system.
Here, guys, I just posted the link in the chat too. So,
yep. So the book's helpful. Yeah, the ebook's just $10, guys. Very small investment, I think, for a whole lot of great education. And you know, that stage is real. You know, my first year I lost money. So before I was trading futures as much, I was a small cap trader, and I was a short. I only sold short shit companies for the most part. And I made a lot of money. I also had some really nasty losing days. I'd have $100,000 profit months. My worst day, I lost $55,000 in one trade. So Jesus. Yeah, that's some serious cash.
No sim, not sim money, guys.
Not sim, hard-earned money, guys.
That wasn't on 20 Apex accounts, all right?
Yeah, no, that was it was legit, and it was you know, there had to be a better way. But you know, my first year I lost a lot of money. My second year I lost less money. My third year I broke even by year four. Right, 4 years later, now I'm starting to realize profits from my work.
Yeah,
that was my path. That's what it looked like.
It's a lot of people. I really think those first 2 years are just so brutal. I feel like a lot of people, the first year, it's maybe kind of a honeymoon phase because there's all this anticipation and all of this potential when you first start learning how to trade. And you think, okay, I'll give this a year, man, a year straight. I'll be so focused. And, you know, there's such a, you know, there's like something at the end. You think like, I'm going to make this in a year. So there's a lot of, you know, excitement. But then by year 2, you start to realize like, oh, this might not take a year, you know, like now you're at that point where you know just enough to know that this shit is very hard. And then you have to get through that. And you start thinking to yourself, man, I've been doing this for 2 years. There's no, you know, I have no tangible results. A lot of people have family that's asking about it, saying like, how long are you going to keep going with this? Like, is it good? Yeah. You know, you got people, you know, counting on you. So I really think like those first 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, they're the hardest, man. They're so hard. If you can get to a point, like usually what I've seen by year 4, if you've really been dedicated and focused, you start to see some of the results, reap some rewards.
And there's still always going to be setbacks, guys. I mean, Even still today, I'll have days where I'm like, what did I do? Right? I know better than this. Like, what
Yes.
am I doing? But we all have bad days, right? The key is just to have guardrails on your activity so you just don't ruin everything. Prop firms have created that in a lot of ways, right? You can take a $50,000 loss in a prop firm account. Maybe if you have $50,000 in profits built up in it, then you can, I guess.
Yeah.
But I want that money in those prop firm accounts in my bank as fast as possible. So I'm quick to take withdrawals, lock them in.
Somebody once told me, and I completely agree with this, that trading profits come in disproportionate waves. And that's that cannot be more true for me. A lot of people think like it's going to be this situation where once I start making $5,000 a month or 10 grand a month, that's like my salary. That's what I make because I'm a profitable trader. And for me, it's just could not be more different. Like I have weeks where it's just terrible. It's just not going well. But then when things are going well, I just see exponential growth, and you can make a lot of your yearly salary in the span of a few months out of that year. That's just my experience. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
So what are you seeing here? Are you getting interested in anything?
Yeah, I see this upper band, which is held. Now unfortunately it's kind of a wide zone, which makes it a harder trade to nail, right? I do like this 221 area right here. Right here. But this is yesterday's initial balance low. If you guys aren't familiar with the initial balance, it's the first hour of regular trading hours. And the theory behind that is the first hour is where the institutions and the hedge funds use the liquidity to place their positions, get in and out, right? So the first hour high and low are very substantial levels. They're not always breakouts, right? Sometimes they're fade trades, right? So it's not an orb. Orbs are generally less periods of time. The opening range is not an hour, right? The opening range is 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. All right, so here's this 221 area. Let's see if it melts through, or we do get some type of reaction here. 220 to 21. All right, we do want to see buyers step in here. I don't see them on the delta quite yet. Here we go. A little bit of a reaction. All right.
So you'll wait for your reaction and then set a limit order. You don't just have a limit order set at the level.
Sometimes if I really like the setup, I'll place a couple of limit orders across the zone.
Sure.
Try and get a good average price, and then as it starts working, I'll start layering out of it. It's holding so far.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to looking for a potential long here as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to see though.
Now the delta is not helping, because the delta is almost back to lows where we got down here. Let me pull up the delta and you guys can see that. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
So the delta is not favorable here. So it doesn't favor the long.
So something yeah, I agree. Something I was looking at, I'll go to my screen quick. I had this little 5-minute gap marked off, and I was waiting for this 5-minute candle closure. I mean, we just slammed through it and closed beneath. So yeah, I would not, if we did not get a closure below this and we started to get a reaction from there, I would have been interested in a long, but yeah, that's cooked for now, for the short term. Yeah.
So if you look at the delta here, I mean, we do have a bit of a divergence, actually. So this on the bottom is the 1-minute delta. And this is aggressive buyers versus aggressive sellers, right? You can see how we had a low coming out of the open, and we now just traded below that in the delta. But however, price made a higher low, right? So, that tells us that passive buyers were right there. So there are bigger players probably accumulating down here.
Okay, that's good. It's so interesting. There's so many different divergence options to look at. So you like delta and price action divergence? Is that like your main go-to?
Delta, price action. I do like some price action theory. Yep. And I do like a tick strike. I have it up here as well. That's the tape, essentially an audible version of the tape, because I can't stare at the time and sales for futures. It's just too insane.
Sure.
So tick strike gives me kind of the heartbeat of the time and sales, the actual orders going through. And you can't hear it, but it clicks. It's like a Geiger.
Yeah, we're getting a nice reaction here, actually.
We are.
Ooh, so okay. We also have, so I like to use a price action divergence between two correlated assets. So I'll look at the ES and the NQ, right? And
Yep.
similarly with Delta, I'm just looking at the price action. I do see that ES made a lower low. So it took out the 9:35 a.m. low, while NQ has put in a higher low. So that's a bullish, we call it a bullish SMT divergence. So
Yep.
another signal that maybe if we can get some lift here,
And we
we
did go
could look
down
to
to this
that.
weekly lower band that we've been holding.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So it was a messy zone, and I kind of mentioned that, right? We do have this zone, and it's kind of wide, right? The longs could be anywhere in this. So generally, what I'll suggest if we do have a wide buy zone is to scale down, right, and try and
Yes.
layer your orders, maybe some micros throughout this area to try and get in at a good average price.
Yeah, I might get ready to try a short and not a short, excuse me, a long. I'm going to wait for this 1 minute candle though and see how it closes.
Buyers stepped in a little bit right there, but you know, can they continue it, or is this what I call the anemic bounce, or is it
Yeah.
going to be a nice big V reversal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Delta isn't convincing on the buy side quite yet.
Got it.
We got some buyers, but I'm always afraid of them squeezing out the weak shorts before they actually do drop it.
100%. Wait, am I? Oops, nope. I almost set a limit order on the NQ for 2 contracts per account. I want to.
All right.
I'm trained on the micros right now. Just
Getting aggressive.
No, not aggressive right now. So one of the biggest things for me, bro, with payouts, I used to just, a lot of people go through this, I think, where they can get close to that payout but once they're like within the mark of maybe they need a couple $100, they just blow up because they think it needs to happen today. Right. And then, they take a loss, then they size up. They're like, I have to get this today. And I just don't do that anymore. So I size down significantly. When I'm in the threshold of like $200 for a 5-figure payout, I am risk off, low size. I don't care if it takes an extra 3 days. Doesn't mean anything to me. So yeah,
I've been there a bunch of times because, also psychologically, we're so close. I don't want to take a step back.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to cross the finish line. I don't want to take a step back. And we get
100%.
willing to risk the whole account just to not have to take the step back.
And it's such a vicious cycle for a lot of people.
Yeah. Still, I'm not convinced.
No. Yeah, I like that SMT divergence, but this is why I hate when we're like up in deep premiums on the higher time frame, because I just feel like the bottom floor could drop out at any point, and we could be due for like a bigger reaction to the downside.
We'll see what we get.
All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try one long in here. I'll go to my chart real quick.
I might fade you here.
Oh boy. That's fine. We'll let the best man win. We'll see if I even get filled. Let's see. Hold on.
Either way, I think it's quite a. Oh, we'll see. I'm just not convinced on the Delta here. Buyers really haven't stepped in like I'd like them to see. So, see if we can get some continuation. It's going to be hard to get back below 213, I think. That's so we do have this monthly upper band, lower band.
I might cut this. See, I'm going to put a sell stop.
I'm short at 30 and a quarter.
30 and a quarter?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to cut it. I don't want to give this a full loss yet. Here, let's go to your screen if you're in a trade.
So this is a level I would typically take profit at. So I
Do you
got
have
my
an
stop
overall
at break
target?
even. I can't lose on the trade now.
Okay, beautiful.
If we get one more push down, I'll probably just take it there. So what I see, and the reason being, is the profile, right? We have this ledge, we have this low volume area right here. Probabilities say that's going to have trouble getting through that. There we go.
So you're about to get that fill. Do you have a partial taking system? Do you do partials, or are you like one in, one out usually?
Usually one in, one out with minis. I try to keep since I do take a lot of trades and a lot of scalps, I try and keep my commissions lower.
Yep, makes sense.
So, but I'll do up to 2 minis.
There you go. Beauty.
So, you know, 12 points.
Is that first trade of the day? W's in the chat, guys. Trader Drysdale. Locking it in.
That is. So I traded pretty aggressively last night. We had this massive gold movements even after I was done streaming. So I hit my profit targets in all of my accounts last night for today.
Nice, nice.
So I'll even show you guys real quick. So I have my top one. So this is a new top one. I hit this last night, trading gold. This is a 150K instant funded.
Beauty.
That was all done last night on that massive gold short. It was epic.
Do you trade a lot of gold, or were you just capitalizing off the volatility of
yeah, no, when it's moving like that, I'll take advantage of it for sure. I'm mostly an NQ specialist. I almost always exclusively trade NQ, but I'll hop over to gold when there's really good opportunities. I took one again on stream during the morning yesterday too. We bought a really great A+ level when we hit monthly VWAP. Monthly VWAP. We went long, and that was actually yesterday's low on the session, and gold was monthly VWAP.
Yeah, yesterday was nuts, man. I mean, I don't look at gold much, but the chat had me looking because we were down like 5% around the open. Do they have a circuit breaker rule on gold as well in the futures?
They do. I think it's pretty high. It's like 6%. I want to say we were pretty close, I guess. I think it's 6%. Close on.
Yeah.
6%, they'll pause it for 15 minutes, and then I think it's like 12% for another 15. But it won't, in the last hour of the day, there's no halts either.
Got you. Yeah, I actually took a trade. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also traded this 50K XFA last night. This was on NQ. We got some nice trades. Now I know Top Step is not a prop firm match. Prop firm, because
so they all lost our
affiliates.
They are listed. They are listed on PFM. Yeah.
I was a Top Step affiliate. I was actually quite disheartened when they pulled their whole program. Didn't make much sense.
Interesting.
To me.
See, I was on Top Step TV a couple of times, maybe 2 years ago now. Nice guys over there, but yeah, I was just on a few times.
Yeah. Still holding this weekly lower band.
So when you took the trades in the Asia session, were you getting short or long? Because I took some shorts in Asia on my funded futures accounts.
Yeah, I was short on gold. So this is yesterday.
Did you say you traded NQ as well though?
Yeah, we did. We traded both.
Yeah.
So this was the epic short. So
yeah, but that was in Asia.
Yeah. Yep. This is 6 p.m. last night. I'll simplify this a little bit. So, I mean, when you see a VWAP going straight down like that, that is huge bearish. I mean, this was a massive liquidation move. So we were caught that short. And then I'm pretty sure I caught a long around here too, because this is so these are low volume nodes off of a composite profile. So we take together multiple weeks of data and we find the low volume nodes out of that large data set. These also create excellent levels to trade off of.
So the low volume, high volume nodes is one part of the volume profile that I just have never used, because when I just learned off previous days value areas, the point of control. I use them as static levels and like that's it. But I'd love to get maybe an explanation on how you use these low volume or high volume nodes, because I really don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So the theory is when we have a high profile of high volume node, oh, look at that dump.
My God.
Was the way, guys. Short was the way.
I'm glad I lost 30. I lost 30 ticks on that MNQ. So they were nothing too bad, guys.
Good risk management right there.
It didn't feel right as soon as I entered. You know that feeling? You're just like, nope, I can't do
the
this.
delta looked bad. And if I show you, I think I still have it up here somewhere. Just to reference. No, I think I closed it. No, I still have it here. So the delta, super bearish, right? Lots of red descending delta here. Really no buyers. All right, going straight down still. So the red means abnormal, aggressive selling. The green is influx of buyers. And then the gray is just sub average volume, so dead volume. Right, so the increasing in frequency of the red and the length of the candles, that's increasing selling pressure from market aggressors.
And that's on the delta.
Yep, this is the cumulative delta. Yep, and I think Tradeovate has one of the nicest delta features because it does show you the abnormal and just average or less than average volume levels. So when you see a lot of green, right, lots of buying aggressors, no red, right? There's some low volume pullbacks, would be the gray. Now we start seeing some sellers step in, lower buyers, right? And we can see a change. You can change in the tape, so to speak.
Yeah, so I think I'm getting this a little bit more now. So when we had that little bear flag that we put in before this last sell-off, the one where you took your short, that delta is just like flat lines.
Right, exactly. So we saw this move up, right? And I kept saying, oh, I'm not convinced. I don't really see much buying. I'm looking at this.
Got you. Yeah, that looks really helpful because you look at the left that we made.
Now I see some sellers stepping in. I'm like, let's go. Right? I didn't know this was going to happen. If I did, I would have held it. But you know.
No, but that's really interesting because I could see very clearly the move up at 9:30. You see the delta expanding a little bit more, and you get more of a significant move to the upside.
Correct, and that's confirmation, right? So if the delta is moving with price, we call that price confirmation. Right? If we see price moving up but delta not, that's our divergence.
Yes. Beautiful. So what about the volume nodes though?
Yes. So, and this pertains to any profile, whether it's the intraday, a previous period, or a composite where you're pulling in lots of days of data, right? A high volume node where you can see a distribution, right? And this is based on statistics, right? So statistics say that 68% of our volume will take place in the distribution. All right, the general rule, crude oil inventories, that's what that was. All right, so we have our value area high and our value area low. Right, and then we have our point of control. All right, the way the dynamics work in a high volume node is that price will travel to the value area high. If it can't escape and leave value, then we're probably just going to rotate back to the point of control, right? That's my magnet. If we can't get by the point of control, then we're probably just going to rotate back to the value area high. If it can break out, great, we'll go into price discovery, but we'll assume that since we're in a high volume node, that we're probably just going to reject again, right? Back to the point of control. If we can get past the point of control, we'll go to the value area low. Right? And then this process just keeps repeating until we fundamentally leave the high volume node. Right? So that's how we trade the distribution. We call them distributions because in statistics, they're called a normal distribution. Okay, with a low volume node, so you might get two high volume nodes, right? This is our low volume node, right? And the more deeper and the more significant the node, right? So the bigger the high volume node or the deeper the TRO, the low volume node, the more significant and powerful they are. Right? These tend to act as support and resistance. So we love to trade off of them. right? We expect them to hold, right? So as we come down to a low volume node, we're going to expect them to bounce. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Can they break? Of course. Can price melt right through it like a knife in hot butter? Yes, it can. But we trade based on probabilities, and the more probable scenario is that we're just going to continue rotating and trade off of the low volume node. And then we manage our risk accordingly. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we know the high probable scenario is another rotation.
Super interesting. So, I know that a lot of people also use market profile. I'm just a volume profile guy. Have you ever used market profile? Do you have any opinion on that?
I have. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar concepts, actually identical concepts. Market profile came first, right?
Yes.
So it's a bit antiquated, I think. It's based on time rather than volume. They didn't have volume profile yet, right? They didn't get the volume data like we have now. So that's just what they used. I think volume profile is more statistical based, right? So it's a little harder to use. It's not harder. I mean, like, it's hard data is what I mean by hard, right? So I think it has a little more oomph to it than what's a little bit more just nuance or just experience based in the market profile. But they tend to work the same exact way. Same theories, same concepts, same rotations we expect on a high volume node, low volume node. They call them single prints in the market profile. We call them low volume nodes, right? So exactly the same concepts.
Yeah, just based off of time. Like, so sometimes I've noticed the point of control on a market profile, when it's going off the time point of control, that is basically the area where the market has traded around that price for the longest amount of time for the day,
exactly,
right?
Yep.
And very often the volume point of control will be right near it, because naturally where there's a lot of transactions, there could be more volume in that area, right? But sometimes there is differences. So what I've seen is, I just feel like the volume profile is a really nice predecessor to the market profile concepts. I'm assuming when market profile came into play, they just didn't have the technology to really analyze volume like that. So they used time,
or access to the data even, especially retail traders. Maybe if you worked at like a hedge fund, you had access to something like that, but I'm sure it doesn't look like what we have today.
Yeah, 100%. Also, just the way the market profile is laid out was always like, I was like, is this really necessary? Maybe it is. I don't know.
They typically use a 30-minute chart. So, very tough to scalp on a 30-minute chart. Yes. And also they use 80%, not 68%.
Oh, okay.
So when you see the market profile, they use 80. Whereas in volume profile, we use 68.
Okay, that's really interesting. I didn't know that part. I assumed they were both 68.
Yeah. That's James Dalton's 80% thing.
Man, so all right, so you took a winning trade. Do you take multiple trades throughout the day, or you do? But
I do. I take a lot of trades. Yeah, I'm usually very active. I'm a little out of my my usual comfort zone, so and plus I hit all my profit targets for the most part. So I'm here to focus with you guys, read the market, talk trading. Definitely will take some more trades, right? So this is IB low, right? So now the first hour has finished. We have a value IB high and IB low. If we continue to trade below the IB, that's a trending sign.
Is that yesterday's IB?
This is today's. Now we have one.
Oh, the initial balance. Okay, today's initial balance.
So we just finished it 5 minutes ago, so we printed it. We almost always look to fade the first test. We call that the Madonna trade.
I love that.
It's called the Madonna because the IB was touched for the very first time.
Yeah, no, I'm similar though. Do you follow any data about the initial balance? Because a while ago, I remember looking at some data that said, like, once you get a break outside one portion of the initial balance range, it becomes significantly less likely that you're going to break both sides. Like, you usually only get one break of the IB. So I use the initial balance as well from time to time. And I like to mark out the midpoint and then obviously the high and low. If we can get a retracement towards the midpoint or a key level, like you just said, fading that first tap of the low, I see that as like, okay, we swept maybe some liquidity, people who got short early, tap into another key level, and I can look for trend continuation.
Sure. we are building some structure down here.
Yeah.
So let's get the volume profile on the screen here. So what I see now is a little bit of a distribution forming. It's not very big yet. We have this big low volume area, and then we have a distribution, low volume node, and then our wider distribution, right? So I could see this as being a key level. We might flesh it out a little more, build a bigger distribution. This could be our short level. This is a key, right? So 160 seems interesting for a continuation short between 160 and 175, I would say. And then we have this level here at, I guess, 210.
So once again, confluence. I'll show you my chart real quick. I'm seeing a similar thing. So I got this 5-minute fair value gap marked off. I feel like this could be my line in the sand for quick short continuation, at least in the immediate or short term. And the midpoint of that gap is coming in around 160. So if we can get a retracement in here, yeah, I might also be interested in a short.
Yeah, I like it. We are heavily, we are finding some buyers down here. Could also be some short covering. We'll see.
Yeah. So is there a way, looking at the delta or any other tools that you use, to, obviously there's no set in stone, but to determine if like a retracement is more likely new buyers or short covering?
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. We can form hypotheses based on what we see. All I know is that there are aggressors down here that are buying the market. And we'll follow price and we'll follow delta to see if we can get confirmation or some type of divergence. And then we'll know there's some passive buyers or sellers continuing to accumulate. So this will be interesting here. So now we have built quite a bit. I mean, this would be a reliable, you know, if we're scalping this distribution, we can continue to buy here, take it back to the IB, right? Short here. We can expect to do this until we break one way or the other.
Okay. Do you watch the ES as well? Do you look for correlations?
I do. Yeah, I have on these monitors over here. I have them. What's all the W's? Am I watching? Oh, that's. I was watching a delayed stream. Never mind.
No okay. W's yet. No W's yet, guys.
That must have been really delayed. Holy crap. I wonder why. So, you know, you can take little scalps here.
What type of correlations do you look for on the ES? Do you look for divergences between the indexes, or do you want to see them trading in tandem with each other most of the time?
We'll draw a conclusion based on, you know, if they're trading together. This looks super weak. So this would be actually be the buy spot right here. Let's see if it holds. Or it continues to build. So we probably would just bow out of this one if we made new lows here, or whether the buyers step back in.
Oh, you entered. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I've been in it. Delta's not looking good. So this would be like a scalp of the distribution. So that's out. See if we reclaim and get back in.
Okay, there you go.
Or whether it continues to stay weak. So we have a little bit more of a divot right here. All right, then we could hold one.
Okay, nice. So you just took off, would you have 6 on there? You took off 5?
Yeah, yep.
Nice. Beautiful.
And then we'll take it to the top side here. So, you know, just scalping this distribution is generally what I'll do a lot of.
Now you can post your W's, chat. Damn, bro, that was really, really nice execution. Now you're getting that drop back. What's your average hold time, you think? Is it?
It's usually about 1 to 2 minutes, but I'll be really fast. as well. When I'm trading a distribution like that, or we get some good volatility, it could be like 20, 30 seconds sometimes.
Yeah, same here. I love that the volatility has come back in maybe the last month or so. I feel like over the summer, it was a lot slower. Like my average catching 20 points, 25 points, it took a little bit more out of me to get that.
Yeah.
I feel like the last few weeks, we've been back in conditions where I can catch 25 points in a couple of minutes, which is my preferred, level of volatility.
Right. So I took profits right into the IB low. I wasn't watching. If I had been watching all of my charts, I probably would not have bought there the first time, because that was right into the IB low.
In and out, man, in and out. That's what I love about scalping. Seriously, like I used to trade a completely different system. I was like very low win rate, high risk reward, always looking for 4 or 5R. And man, I mean, it could work, right? Like, again, at the end of the day, it's just about your relationship to your R multiple and your win rate. What I've noticed is with prop firms, and specifically futures props, they just don't reward like a volatile equity curve. Where
no, they really don't. No,
they want to see upside equity curve, base hits, lock it in. Like it's just, yeah.
And if I'm going to trade like that, honestly, I might as well just be long only on equities, during a bull market, right? I'll make more money that way than day trading futures. I think there's more of an opportunity to scalp if we're day trading with such huge leverage on futures. So I just see more of an edge and more of an opportunity. And also, I don't have to sit at the computer all day.
Exactly, man. Like sitting in a trade for 2 hours nowadays is like a nightmare for me. I can't do it.
And then waiting for a good setup.
Yeah, and you got to be patient. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, the way it worked for me, though, this is when I was still in my learning phase, but I saw it as actually, I could press the button more because my stops are going to be so tight. Every trade is just a little paper cut. So I could give myself a bunch of bullets, right? A bunch of opportunities. And as long as I end up capturing the daily expansion by the end of the day, I'll be green. But what I noticed is, even if I do capture the daily expansion by the end of the day, if I took 2, 3, 4 paper cuts, by the time my winning trade hits, maybe I caught a 6R, but really it's a 2R by the end of the day because I took 4 losses to capture it. So
I would expect more downside from here.
Natural Trader says nightmare fuel. Yeah, facts. I think that's one of your guys in your community, right?
What did he say?
Natural Trader. He said, like high risk reward is nightmare fuel.
I mean, it's just, it's a very difficult way for most people to trade, right? You take a lot of losses in search of the big move that's going to make up for all the losses.
Yep.
You need it. You need that big trade because you're going to take a lot of L's in search for the big move, because especially as day traders with such leverage, it's very difficult to catch those moves consistently.
Exactly. Like maybe if you have unlimited capital, it's not an issue, but.
And if you're, by the 5th loss, are you still able to execute on that same system just like you would the first 5?
No, you're burnt out by then. You're not thinking clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ripping. We're still going. So when you see us just falling down here, do you see any kind of, do you have like a price target, or are you looking at anything that could act as a magnet?
At this point, there's really no setup for me unless I'm trading this distribution, but the delta is so bearish now. I would say this is not ideal conditions to do anything for me. I would be watching this LVN and monthly VWAP down here at this point. So that's between 200 and 220. If I 200, 25,000 and 20, this zone here would be a little area to scalp long.
Yeah. So what I'll be looking at now going into the rest of the session is, if anything, I can maybe anticipate that the market wants to come down and take this swing low eventually. But like you said, I don't want to get short down here at the lows at all. So I still like this 5-minute fair value gap. I still like the idea of maybe, you got that first little break in retest of the initial balance low. But at some point, if we can get some buyers to step in and grind our way up to this fair value gap, I could maybe look for a trade here if we're going to get that kind of retracement.
Yeah. I would expect, we're in, on the shorter time frame, we're in price discovery to the downside. So we're going to assume this is going to continue until the conditions change. And this is where I don't get steamrolled anymore.
Yep.
Because I'd be looking to buy this at any point. Oh, it's so far down. It's so extended.
It's oversold.
Things are on sale, right? We're going up. We got to go up, right?
Yeah, it
But I
looks like
do
we're
like
gonna
this
come
down
into
here
that.
for at least a small bounce, right? I will take those trades. They are contrarian. I'm not looking for a big reversal, right? I'm not looking for a big V-shaped recovery here. I'm looking for this.
So that's coming in at okay, like 25,000 even.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there any relevance to like it being a psychological round
Yeah, for
number?
sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe it's relevant because of the volume, maybe because the volume is relevant because of the price level. Who knows? But they seem to match up quite often.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, guys, so when Trader Drysdale does end up getting off, you're free to stay till 11, bro, if you
Okay.
want. Or, I don't want to make you, if you got things to do, though. So when Trader Drysdale gets ready to dip out of here, we will run a giveaway. So we'll give away some top one futures accounts. Just letting you know, chat.
Nice.
So
I'll
stay
stick
tuned
around for
that.
another 10 minutes, see if we hit this area, and then I'll head out here.
Cool. Perfect.
I do appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man, this was great. I mean, great conversation. I had never watched any of your streams yet. Now I feel like I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be tuning in when I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Asia stream. I saw you on there, so I'll probably tune in for that one when I got the time.
Cool. Yeah, it's starting to get busier in the evenings.
It has been.
Yeah.
I got to say, a few years ago, especially on the NQ, like you cannot really trade the Asia session much. I feel like people who maybe still working 9 to 5, there are options in the Asia session, whether you're trading NQ or gold too. Gold moves really well in Asia lately. I've noticed. And
it's harder to get the price I want, due to the spread and the liquidity of the Globex session. But so we are still continuing to build a little structure down here on the Delta. All right, I would say 89. Can break above 89. We can probably see more upside back to the IB low.
Mm-hmm. By the way, chat, any questions for Trader Drysdale here? Throw them in the chat before he heads up. Yeah, I like that we're getting this pop. Also, I like that we haven't taken 25.37. So if we can get a deeper retracement, I still think we could use that as a target as long as like my line in the sand does not get invalidated, which is that fair value gap. So I like this. I love when, again, because I use price targets first before I find the entry. So I love these situations where the market just misses my target and then we get a deeper retracements because I feel like we have unfinished business and I can still trade with that order flow. So we'll see. Maybe by 11 a.m. I could see something set up for me. Do you use Bookmap?
I don't. I have used Bookmap in the past. I think it's a very cool tool, but it didn't really help me all that much because my levels stay the same regardless of where the liquidity is.
Yeah.
I trade my levels the same no matter what. So there could be liquidity there. There could not be. It doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, while I think it's a very cool tool, I don't use it, no.
Yeah, it seems like you got all your tools. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I have what I like. I don't really want to continue to try to add things when I have something that works for me, at least.
And that's how you're finally settling into your consistency because you don't want to keep changing things.
Yeah.
Right. I know what I do works. Right. I'll make tweaks here and there, but for the most part, how I trade is how I trade at this point because I know it works for me and I can come into the market on any given day, expecting I know what to do, and I'm going to do it when I need to do it, as opposed to constantly switching things up.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree with that.
So this is the top of that distribution we formed. Let's see if we get a bigger squeeze out of it. 150 is still an interesting short area if we don't just squeeze like crazy out of here. Yeah. As long as we can hold it and start to slow down, maybe I can get an entry signal. I love the idea to short around that zone. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention this, bro. You're going to be at the boot camp seminar in Tampa, and we're both going to be speaking. That's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I know a lot of people in my community are coming too. It's going to be a hell of a time. We're going to get together. A couple of us were just at a conference in Los Angeles too with Tom Hogard from Best Loser Wins.
Yeah, I saw that, bro. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. He was incredible. He was an incredible speaker. Very
Yeah, he really is.
inspirational, motivating. He's a high stake trader. This guy's doing millions, you know, so very inspirational, great talk. And I got to meet a lot of people from my community got to come out. That's always the best part for me. You know, we're so online based. When we get to meet face to face and break bread and sit down and have dinner, that's the best part.
Yeah, that's what I'm so excited about, man. So, because same thing. I have so many friends that I've met online, and that's like never met you in person. It's crazy. You guys are like my coworkers. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like I've never met you, so I'm super excited for that. I'll guys, you can find more info on that. I have a link in the description of like my Twitter bio about that. I'm sure Trader Drysdale does as well.
So I'm going to be watching short here.
Yeah, I like this.
I'll start with a position here.
I'm joining you on a starter position.
Yeah, I might add a little higher at 50 if we get there.
Yeah, I would actually like if we went a little bit higher for an add.
I tend to front run a lot
because
I think a lot of people are looking to short. So it might not get to the level I really like, which is a little higher than this, but we'll see. I might actually stop out and reposition. No.
I'm real light right now, so I'm happy to see it go up to like 150s and consider an add-in if it does.
There we go.
Yep.
Beauty.
Yep.
I'll probably just take the let's see if we get more downside. Oh, it filled me already. I was gonna try and move it lower.
You full out?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get repositioned again. I still like it.
Me too.
I wouldn't be surprised if it squeezes a little higher.
Yeah.
We seem to be building some structure here, and sellers are certainly hitting it here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm perfectly okay with it. Comes up towards like 142, 150s. That's where that fair value gap that I have marked out is. So I like that. I'm fine with this. I'm in real small.
gold down 2% still.
Damn. You think there's more all-time highs coming for gold, though?
I do.
Yeah.
I think this is just a panic sell. I think this will get bought up sooner or later.
Yeah.
$42. If I were long, I'd be worried about this being a bull trap right here.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes. Come on.
My full target.
Go ahead.
My full target will be 102 if we can get it. Okay, we're pushing a little bit.
I'm not going to take a loss on this one at this point. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I can get back in.
Break even?
Yeah, I got back out. Break even on that one. Still like it.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm actually perfectly fine. I would like to add, honestly.
All right, I got back in at 32, and then I'll hit it again right around here. That last little burst of activity. Unless it just squeezed, a lot of buyers just stepped in there. Hopefully it could be a short squeeze. We'll see.
Yeah, I got my line in the sand right here, so I'm just chilling right now. As long as we don't like aggressively push up past 80s, I'm fine to give this room.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, there's still a low volume node here between 60 and 74. But there were a lot of buyers. We're starting to build some buying structure, which is making me a little more nervous about this trade. That was the level. See if we can retrace from here.
This is where these 5-minute candle closures are going to be important for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how we got 2 minutes left on this candle.
Yeah, I got a 5-minute up over here. I'd like to see it come back below 42 or 40 at least. 42 is the lower deviation band. The buyers are strict here.
Yeah, they are.
Let me see what my levels are here. Oh, so we have the LVN and we have, all right, I still like this. I might add a little more right here, actually. All right, if we hold above 70, all right, so this is the level I'm going to watch. We gotta hold here. Otherwise, this trade's over. For me, anyway.
Yep.
See what happens. Sellers are hitting on the delta. Let's see if buyers overwhelm them. They're trying. They're working hard. Slowly.
Yeah, they are.
We also have New York VWAP at 81. That's interesting.
24,181. Yeah, that's still again in my overall zone. So I'm pretty comfortable. I mean, we are just like not getting any kind of selling coming in yet. So I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but my overall zone is still like clearly around the 80s. So if we don't get a closure above that, I'm gonna wait and try to be a little patient. And if I can get an add in, I'll be happy.
It worked better here, right? So I had this one short. This one worked nice, and then it that was kind of it. But we'll see. We also have the 11 o'clock hour here. See if that brings any new volume in.
Mm-hmm. New hourly candle.
Well, what was that? Seems to be grinding. I don't like grinding. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, it's getting bought up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you too long. I'll switch over to my screen. I'm still in this trade, guys. Again, I'm in on 2 micros, so I'm giving it some room it needs, and I'd happily add in if we could start to sell back off, and I could look for my target. But man, thank you so much for coming on. That was an awesome conversation, dude. You're so knowledgeable. So
my pleasure, guys. Really, thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody for listening. And Zach, really looking forward to connecting with you offline.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I will be seeing you soon enough. So, and if you ever want to come back on, please feel free. You're always welcome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Peace, bro. Later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Yeah, that was a awesome conversation. Chat, did you like that conversation with Trader Drysdale? All right, I think I gotta close this. This was like the worst case scenario. I'm just thankful I'm only in on 2 micros. This is like literally the last thing I wanted to see happen. I'll give it a second. At the end of the day, this 5-minute gap is my line in the sand. How'd you like that conversation, man? That honestly, he might be my favorite, my all-time favorite so far on Prop Firm Match TV. Like, that was just such a good conversation. Dude is really knowledgeable. Okay, I need to see this begin to sell, or I got to cut this. It's always the day before a payout, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like clockwork. You put in a red day when you're super close to the payout. Got 2.5 minutes on this candle. I'm trying to survive the candle closure because I know we can wick higher and still close below my fair value gap. But if we get a strong inverse of this gap, I think I'm like cooked on this idea, which would be a bummer, but it is what it is. Yeah, Chris knows his craft very well. He's a beast. Okay, a lot of you guys are in his Discord. That's awesome. Yeah, we got 126 likes. We had a ton of views too. I think we beat our record, so that was awesome. Seriously, could not have gone better. I really loved that conversation. I'm excited to meet him in person too soon enough. Chris knows his stuff. Yeah, that was really good. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a sell-off back here. I'm just chilling right now, guys. I don't have a hard stop in because I'm only in on 2 micros, so I can give this a lot of room, you know? So I'm trying to give it the room it needs and look for a potential add-in, but I'm not going to add in up here when I'm in drawdown. I'd want to see us really get back towards my entry before an add-in. Yeah, big W's though. That was an awesome chat. Zach, you made that interview great. Thanks, man. I think I'm honestly like, I never tried to be an interviewer. Like, it's not something I've ever been conscious of, like whether I'm good at it or not, but I think I'm pretty decent at talking to traders, you know, because I love trading and I love hearing about other people's strategies and technical analysis and the psychology behind it. So it's just natural for me. I enjoy the conversations. So I think I'm a pretty decent interviewer. Garu, I've seen you in the chat a bunch, buddy. Listen, the Prop Firm Match support, they see you and they're going to help you out after the stream. I promise you, bro. All right. You don't need to keep coming into the chat mentioning it. And guys, if like the account has an activation fee, there's nothing we can do about that. All right. If you want to give away, it just is what it is. Yeah. We both use volume profile. He has a few other, I mean, he's like VWAP in volume profile. I'm like ICT in volume profile, but one of the constants is volume profile. Yeah. I don't know, guys. When I'm thinking about the higher time frame, I'm like, are we really just going to reverse this whole move again with the way this market is? Maybe we could. Trying to see if there's an SMT here. So this is Monday, 7 a.m. lows. I just want to see where ES is on that. Okay, there's no SMT. So that's good at least. But this, like, it's not fun being in 200 ticks of drawdown, even if you're in small. So, okay, we survived that 5-minute candle closure, but I didn't get any real relief. So that's like not even fun, because now if I want to wait to see if this gap holds or not, I got to wait another 5 minutes and we could wick above and still close beneath it. So it's kind of that's even worse. It's even less fun where we're at right here. But yeah, guys, we can run another giveaway. Who's down for another giveaway? Let me know, chat. You want to, I can give away some top 1 futures accounts. We down? Strong resistance at New York VWAP. Yeah, I think, again, this gap is my line in the sand for the time being. We also have previous day's low. So let's do this. I got to take a quick bathroom break. So let's run another giveaway. To enter, we'll do top 1 futures. In the chat, just type in TOF, okay? We'll run that quick, and I will be right back, and we will confirm the winners. So stay tuned. Don't leave. I'll be back in a couple minutes, and then we'll announce the winners of the giveaway. Boom. Be right back. Chat, we're back. Okay, and this thing's selling off a little bit. So let's get this going. All right, that's what I like to see after a little bathroom break, a little sell-off. Can we get back to our entry, man? Ugh, I don't know. Not gonna lie. I feel like we can. I feel like we can catch 102. So we got to give it the room it needs, though. We're in small, so it's been very low stress. It's just not fun to be sitting in drawdown, you know? Oh my God, do not pull back up. So this candle closure, I'll be paying attention to this 5-minute candle closure. Let's get our music back on. Where's our music? All right. All right, all right, all right. So while we're sitting in this trade and waiting to see what happens, we'll run this giveaway. Guys, do me a favor, just so I don't miss anyone. Hold up. So we're going to give away a Top 1 Futures Elite account, right? Elite. 25K. So what we're going to do, just in case, I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Just even if you entered already, enter one more time and get your entries in. You could go until 11. Okay. So we'll have about 75 seconds to enter. Get it in. Get it in. Let's go. And then we're going to get back to trading. We're in a trade. Gap is still holding, you know? Fair value gap is still holding price. We broke the initial balance low. Like, there's a lot of reasons I think we could continue lower. I just didn't get the most optimal entry. Honestly, Trader Drysdale is so good that, like, I was short biased and he was getting in, and it made me, I kind of, not that it was peer pressure, but I was like, okay, let me get started too. In reality, I would have waited maybe a couple of minutes and got in somewhere in that fair value gap. But, you know, that ain't no one's fault but my own. All right, we got 15 seconds, guys. 15 more seconds to enter. I'm copying all these entries right now as we speak. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Bam. All right, that's it for the entries. I'll plug these in. And we'll run a pinwheel for this one. Ooh, we got a lot of entries. This is good. All right, let's run it, guys. We'll do pinwheel, okay? Who's ready? Let's get these names in. Bam. All right, on 3. 1, 2. Hold on. Let's do drum roll. Ooh, okay, just made it. All right, we got Nero. So, Nero, the way you're going to claim your account, I want you to DM me on X, okay? So, DM me on X at IamZarb. And then I will forward it over to the Prop Firm Match support team. Just, you know, if you can, give me a timestamp of when you won just so we could cross-check. And that's it. And you'll get your account. takes a day or two to actually receive and have them get back to you. So be patient with that. But yeah, prop for match support will get back to you once you claim your account with me. All right, guys, do we want to run one more? I think we got a couple more. Let's do a Blue Guardian account while we're here. We got the names in there. What does elite account stand for? I think it just stands for elite. It's like their top 1 futures challenge, you know? Sahul, you're saying I forgot you? I don't think I did, but here, I'll put your name back in just in case. Okay, I don't want you to feel like you got slighted. So I'll put your name in right now. I'm going to double check though before I actually enter it. Because these are all, these are in alphabetical order. Oh, looks like you weren't in there. Okay, cool. I got you, bro. Bam. You're in there now, my friend. All right, let's run it. This is for Blue Guardian. Oh, okay. Ali Stewart. Ali, I recognize your name. We also had Abby. Abby's actually a student of mine. I'm coaching her, so she almost won too. But we got Ali. Congrats. You just won a Blue Guardian account. Bam. All right, so I got 2 more accounts I can give away, but we'll do it a little bit towards the end of the stream. We'll chill for a little bit on the giveaways. Sound good, guys? Let's get back to trading. How's this market doing? Am I going to be happy? I don't even know. Oh, came back to my entry. I didn't even realize while we were running the giveaway. I probably would have still been in it anyway. Okay. Let's see if we could get this move. We're looking for like 25 points, give or take. Take a look at ES. Yeah, we got some mixed signals here. I'm just trying to follow the trend, the current trend, but we just tapped into a 5-minute fair value gap on ES. I really would like to see a closure below this level on ES. NQ is similar. We have a little 5-minute fair value gap in here that's still holding us up. I'm not going to let this go all the way back up to the highs, guys. If we break above like 160s aggressively again, I think I just got to cut it and eat the loss, and we can maybe try again. This was not my best entry. You know what I mean? It's like right now with where we waited, it moved about 200 ticks and we're trying to capture 100. So this would still be a 0.5R, which is well within my risk parameters, you know? But yeah, Ali, remember, DM me at IamZarbonX to claim your accounts. Any extra points for top fans? Dharmesh, I think I hooked you up already like that. Some of you guys, I've already hooked you up. Remember, you can only win 1 account per week, guys. And also, if your country is restricted, like if Blue Guardian prop firm, your country is restricted, or for top 1 futures, any of the accounts we're giving away, if your country's on the restricted list, there's nothing I can do. Okay, please. So before you enter, always double check those things. But yeah, congrats to the winners. We'll give away 2 more. Okay, we're coming back up to our entry. So let's see if we can get some follow through here. I wish I waited and got in here. Would have had such a better entry. This would have been a lot more of a fun trade. But okay, can we get 102? Okay, come on. Okay, I feel like we should at least come down to like 108. Take out these wicks, like 110, 112. And we have this open fair value gap. So I'm just really using like lower time frame draws. We have a little imbalance right here. That's where my entry is, or my TP. So I'm hoping we could come in, fill this imbalance for a moment. So just try and be patient here. Let's give us that push. watch this 5 minute, you know. We really just want to see a push down on this 5 minute. Also, like, I don't think it's crazy to be shorting still, because I do think, like, the market hasn't actually swept any clear liquidity. I think this is a clear liquidity point for us. So I feel like this could be a target. It's just a matter of how quick we want to get there, I guess, is the problem. But we have a line in the sand, guys. You know, like, we broke the initial balance low. We had a little retracement, filled this 5 minute fair value gap. It's holding as resistance. It's just like, I would have fared much better getting involved waiting for that fair value gap, because then I could have already possibly been out of the trade, or we would have been closer to our TP and in drawdown for less time, which is like the ideal. But, you know, we're not always going to take the best trades every day. But let's see if we could just capture this dub. I think we can fill this fair value gap right here. Like, I feel like this is low hanging fruit, because it could even make it, like, ideally I want to see it come down to 25.37. So I feel like we should be able to hit this gap. I'm even considering like 133. I feel like we could even capture 50 points, but I really don't want to deal with that rip back up. I feel like we might be on the correct side now, though. Ali, you're going to DM me on X. So at IamZarb. So DM me there and send me a screenshot with a timestamp of when you won your giveaway, and we'll get you hooked up. No problem. All right, come on. Let's get this push. Push, 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 push. Do not edge me, NASDAQ. Do not edge me. Come on, NQ. Come on, NQ. One more push. We still have not tapped this fair value gap, so I think we could get one more leg. Think we can get one more leg, guys. Oh my God, do not edge me. Okay, we also gotta, let's put a stop here for now. Come on, come on. Bam, all right, we got filled. We out, we out. That was a tough trade to hold, I'll admit. I will admit, that was not the funnest trade to hold, but we did it. W's in the chat. Let's go. We didn't even need the magnets. See, I could have held for 50 points probably, but you know what, dude? When I get a bad entry and I have to sit in drawdown, I'd rather take my money. I don't care if it goes down to new lows. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on defense. Trading is about like 90% defense, 10% offense. If you could just stay on defense and then pick your spots and take your little base hits, it adds up. That's what I've been doing on these accounts. Like, I don't want to mess anything up. I need to make $200 more for a 10K payout. It's like, I'm not going to screw it up, you know? Oh, it is going to keep going lower. I think we're going to take 25.37, chat. How much left for payout? 200. I make $200 more. I take my 10K payout with Tradeify. Oh, okay. This is hurting me a little bit, guys. It is hurting me a little bit, I'll admit. I am human. Why is this new method sending timestamp? It just helps me double check on the stream, bro. That's all. Look at this. We are cooking now to the downside. I'm just, guys, timestamp. Like, just when you won the giveaway, just give me the timestamp of the video. Yeah, now it's going. Look, we're going to hit 37. Ah, I did win, though. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Keep calm. What about chat? Guys, can we get a P&L check? Where are you guys at in the markets? Like, are we green? Are we red? Let's get a P&L check going in the chat. I'm interested how you guys did today. I know if I held it, I would have got my payout. I know, man. Just I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so we got some red. Shivam is green. Okay, some red, down 90. Not too bad. Down 5K. Or no, W, you're up 5K. That's good. Josh is flat. Okay. No trade today, down 300 overall. Tradeify, daily drawdown. Okay, okay. $70 profit. Okay, nice, guys. Nice. Seems like we're doing pretty good. Before we run another giveaway, can we hit 150 likes? Lucid trading, daily drawdown. Okay. A lot of people read today. You know, I'm not totally surprised because, you know, these big sell-off days when everyone's used to just buying the trend, closing your eyes and buying, a lot of people get cooked on these kinds of days. So it's not surprising. Even me, it was tough. Today was a little tough because I got short way too early and that made me not want to hold my trade. You know, it happens though. Look at that move. I mean, we called the exact situation though. Can we just say when Trader Drysdale was here, we were breaking the IB low, right? And he mentions how this first like break and retest of the initial balance low often gets faded, right? So we often will get this initial break so that people who are short early get short in here and they're looking for a big move. It looks good for a minute and then they get stopped out, right? So you fade that first break of the initial balance low. Then you usually get a deeper retracement for another continuation move. So again, we had this 5-minute gap marked out, right? 5-minute bearish fair value gap. And I just said, all I'm waiting for is candle closures here. Like, as long as we hold this level, it's my line in the sand. So we did not get a 5-minute candle closure above this gap. We never inversed it. So I'm going to stay in my short idea for that leg down for price continuation. So I didn't execute with the best entry, but we had the correct bias. And this is what I always talk about. If you can determine the correct draw on liquidity, you more times than not, your entry is not as important. Okay. If you can determine the draw on liquidity, you're going to be okay most of the time. That's why I put so much emphasis on target before entry in all of my like educational videos and how I teach here on stream. Yeah, we did just sweep liquidity though. You are right, Dharmesh. So we swept that 2537 level, which I had marked out. I said this is going to act as a pretty nice magnet for price, right? So we got this little magnet right here. Price came down, swept out 2537. So now, do we want to slow down here? Like, look at the reaction so far on the hourly. We sweep out all the people that have stops here. They're stopped out. And we begin to slow down a little bit. Now, it doesn't mean we can't just continue lower, but this is why targets are so important. Like, that was the target. So now, what would my next target be for another short? It's going to be tough. We could look for this swing low. Like, this is where we're just going to go from level to level. So we have another swing low here. This is around the 25,000 psychological, kind of between both of those. Maybe we get here. But this is going to be a big move. I think we might get a deeper pullback first. So then it's like, okay, what levels do we have on the upside? We got to wait for this candle to close. We might put in a 5-minute fair value gap right here. Okay. As far as 1 minute goes, like I kind of see this 1 minute gap right here, this midpoint one. That's not a bad area. This could act as a line in the sand for short-term bias. So like if we come back and retrace into here and we continue to sell off, this could be a sell point to go lower if we're going to like really hold this momentum. Or, you know, maybe this is where we end up breaking above, we get an inversion and you could see a little bit higher. So this is going to be my line in the sand right now. So that starts at 25.81 and it goes up to 25.107. Where's the perfect entry in regards to fair value gaps? Is it CE? Yeah, I think that's a good, yeah, using the midpoint of a fair value gap is solid. Sometimes I use the beginning of it. It depends on how bullish or bearish I am. But yeah, midpoint is pretty solid. W, Zach, you nail it. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Nelson. Yeah, we're trying, man. Yeah, see, so we're beginning to slow down after we sweep out that level. So I think we could probably get a retracement into this gap. Doesn't mean I want to go long to the gap, but I'm just watching. Yeah, we can run one more giveaway too, guys, because, you know, stream goes till 12, but we'll usually hop off like 11:45. But I want to run one more giveaway for 2 more accounts. So stay tuned. We'll get that going in a few minutes. I'd like to get to 150 likes, though. Where are we at? Can we do that? We're at 138. Let's keep trying to smash that like button. But yeah, look at that. Just going lower again, guys. Guys, so Juliet, like, I'm not DMing everyone back anymore because it takes up a lot of my time. If you DM'd me, what I'll do from now on, I'll like it for you guys so you know I saw it. But I forwarded everything over to Prop Firm Match Support. So they got you covered, guys. All right, so we'll see about this. I think we're probably coming down to Drysdale's level at psychological 25,000. I think that's going to come pretty soon. Okay, so we did just create this 5-minute fair value gap too, right? So let's mark that off. We got that right here. I'd like a retracement here for a continuation move if we can get it. I mean, damn, man. Imagine I just held my trade. We'd have that payout locked. Look at this. Massive sell-off. Wow. Let's go, 25,000. Yeah, Ellie, I think we're going to get it. Come on, $5 more down. God, this sell-off, dude. See, sometimes it's good to be a little more risk on because we could have had this payout locked in. Heading to the 1 hour fair value gap. Let's see. Let's see. What 1 hour gap are you looking at? You looking at this one right here? Small little gap. Yeah, we're probably going there. We've already filled it too, though. So I think this is just like an area in general. I think this swing low is a good area. 957. What's left of it? The old previous day's value area low. Okay. Oh, and it's a 4 hour gap. I think you're right about that. Let's double check that. Yeah, we got a 4 hour gap coming in right here. This is a good, I like this. This makes sense maybe for today. We got a little unmitigated 4 hour gap. It looks like it's far away, but look how we're selling off, guys. It could happen. But I would love a retracement. You know, I would love a retracement again, just line in the sand, level to level. We still are just like, you know, this could be a liquidity sweep of 25.37 before we go to 9.57 if we're going to continue. So I think I'd like a retracement up here. You know, we might be able to catch something up here inside this gap. TJR is down 243K today. Is he though? Or is he down 243 fake dollars? Just saying. I don't know. All I know is he trades the futures market, but he trades on an unregulated CFD broker, which doesn't make sense. You're in the United States and you don't trade the futures market. Why is that? That's convenient because you can't fake with an actual regulated broker. I'm just saying. He's a funny guy. He's funny. He's entertaining. I like watching his videos. I'm just joking around, but you know, I do think it's a little sus that he trades on an unregulated broker with hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't make sense. Your money is much safer in a regulated futures exchange. No, TradeLocker is a CFD broker. So yeah, you can't trade futures on it. So it's weird. It's a little sus. It doesn't make any sense. If you're like, if you want to like protect your money, if you want to protect hundreds of thousands of dollars, you would not want to put your money into an unregulated broker. I have huge sus on Alex G. Oh, don't even get me started on that one. At least TJR, like he kind of can read. He can read price, you know, so he could teach pretty well. I just find the unregulated broker thing a little suspect. All right, so we're getting this pullback, guys. A little deep pullback. I do think we could come up into this gap. I think this is a good area. I'm probably hands off until we retrace here, if we retrace here. So that's my goal right now. We're at 141. If we get to 150, we'll run another giveaway before we close out. Damn, seeing just another little retracement, but we're just popping lower again. I think we're trying to induce shorts here. I think we're trying to induce people that feel FOMO, who are getting short down here. And what I think we're going to do is retrace into this fair value gap. I think we kind of, this is an area where people who are into shorts early might place their stop loss for a tight stop. So I think this is like the perfect area for an inducement. So maybe we go a little lower and then we slam up, stop out this liquidity here, tap into that fair value gap and go lower. I could see something like that. Another trade or done for the day? We'll see. I'm down to take another trade, but we're just selling off, so I need a retracement. How long did it take for me to become profitable? So I was talking about this the other day. I started getting my first payouts in like the middle of year 2, but I didn't really begin to actually like make back my initial investment costs and all the money that I spent on challenges until year 4. I've been trading 5 years now. So this year 5 has been kind of like my breakout year. I've had multiple 5-figure plus months. I made 40K over the summer in a month. There's been a lot of success in year 5, but I was already profitable by year 4, like where I've made back my initial, you know, all the money I spent learning. That includes education, challenges, all of that. Yeah, I think we can get this pullback. Yeah, 6 more likes, guys. Let's get it. Congrats. That's great. Thank you, Ali. Yeah, I appreciate it. Trading's hard, you know. Trading's really hard, but a lot of people, they get to that point and then, you know, they see exponential growth. It takes a while. Did I buy any course? So I watched a bunch of free education on ICT. I did pay for mentorship. I paid for Austin Silver's mentorship, which I'm still a part of that group. Those are like my trading family. They're my friends, you know? So I think it's really important to have a community. I think that's what's great about streaming every day is, you know, people who are engaging in the chat, you get to talk to other people about trading. You get to ask questions. You feel like you have a sense of community. I also think like having a Discord group is great. So like I have one with a bunch of friends. I think Prep for a Match is trying to get a Discord going too. So stay tuned for that because I think that would be awesome. Try and build our community up, you know? All right, we're at 147, guys. 3 more likes. Let's get it, and we'll run this giveaway. But yeah, community is a must. Good mentorship, if you can afford it, is great. But there's a ton of free education out there. Ton of free education. Like, you don't need to pay for a course, but it helps. It helps. So Dharmesh, I don't have my own Discord, not yet. I might be looking into that in the future because I've had a few people ask me about that. So we'll look into that. I do have a course though coming out on ASFX TV. 150 done and dusted. Let's see. 152. All right. All right. Let's run it, fam. Let's run it. All right. So what do I have left? I think I have 1 and 1. Let me double check. Okay. We have 1 Blue Guardian and 1 Top 1 Futures account to give away before we head off. All right, fam. So let's do this. We'll do a duck race for the first account. So let's get your entries in. Type in code match in the chat. Code match to enter. And remember, guys, you can use code match. If you don't win a giveaway, you still get all of the best discounts at Prop Firm Match right on the website. Forex futures. You can compare and contrast all your favorite prop firms, figure out what makes sense for you, and then use the best promo code where you get the best offers. You know, that's the beauty of Prop Firm Match. Okay, we'll go till 11:40. You have to enter. Okay, it's 11:40. All right. That's it for entries. We'll put these in. Let's plug these in. We're getting that pop back up. I do think we're going to retrace into this 5-minute gap, guys. Remember, I'm going to say this every time before we run the giveaway, guys. If your country is in a if you have a restricted country for the prop firm, please, no need to enter the giveaway because we can't help you if your country is restricted. We can't give you a different challenge. We can't do all that. So just please remember that. On top of that, if you've already won a giveaway this week, you can only win once per week. So I'm just going to always remind you guys this whenever we run another giveaway. Okay. So let's get these names in. Do 30 seconds, set. Dude, these ads are so annoying. They pop up on the screen. All right, we ready, guys? Who's going to win? Who's got it? Abby, you were late? Here, I'll add your name real quick. Don't worry, I got you. Actually, we're going to run one. We're going to run another one, so I'll add your name on the next one. All right, let's go, fam. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Who's going to take it? Who's got it? Someone call it out. Who's got it? I'm thinking it's 8. I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know. Oh, this is a close one. There we go. Anu. I believe that's how you say your name, right? So Anu, you are the winner. Please let us know you're in the chat. To claim your account, please let us know in the chat. And again, what you're going to do is you're going to go to I am Zarb on X. Okay, I'll type it in the chat. I am Zarb. And you're going to DM me. Follow and DM me, and I will get you hooked up with Prop Firm Match support. It can take a couple days. Okay, so please be patient, but that's all you got to do to claim your prize you got to DM me on X. And guys, if you don't claim the prize by like the end of the day, it becomes harder for us to track. So please claim it at the end of the day. Don't wait. Just do it right now, ideally. But yeah, congratulations. All right, we can run one more, guys. Do we want to do duck race or do we want to do pinwheel? Over the weekend, I'm going to do some research on doing more, like making the giveaways more entertaining. I'm getting bored of duck race personally. Maybe you guys aren't. Duck race? Okay. All right, let's run it. 1, 2, 3, boom. You know what? Random number generator is a good idea. I'm going to look into that. We might do that one day. The ducks never get me. Sorry, Abby. We'll see. Okay, I'm calling that red guy, the Mohawk guy, Rocha. He looks sick. That guy's like a punk duck. Rocha, I've seen you in the chat, buddy. You've been in here, so I think that's a deserved win. So, Rocha, you're the winner, my friend. Congrats. Please let us know you are in here in the chat. And again, to claim your prize, DM Zarb. DM I am Zarb on X. DM me on X. I am Zarb. Shoot me a follow. I'll get you hooked up. Buy a lottery ticket, Zach. I don't like the lottery. That's never been my thing. I never got into the lottery. It's funny. I was never into gambling either. But I love trading. I do like to bet on sports every now and then. You know, NBA season's coming up. We got the Knicks. I think the Knicks are playing tonight. First game of the season. You know, I'm a New Yorker, man. We love our Knicks. I want to double check that. Are they playing tonight? Who here is an NBA fan? Yeah, we got Knicks tonight playing the Cavaliers, 7 o'clock. I'm hyped. Let's go. Yeah, that 5-minute fair value gap has been tapped, guys. It's been tapped. So this is going to be key. Sixers. Okay, let's go. No, Juliet, I saw your account. I got you. I forwarded your details to the team. Like, they got you. Don't worry. No, banger. Rocha won. We already went over it. Rocha won the giveaway. Yeah, I'll probably put a bet on the Knicks tonight just for fun. But yeah, all right, guys. So technical analysis, we have retapped this 5-minute fair value gap. This is key. Now, the thing is, though, we've swept high time frame liquidity. We swept this 1-hour swing low, right? Did ES sweep it as well? Interesting. So ES has not swept it. So there's a bullish SMT there on the higher time frame. And we've swept liquidity. So do we want to get a deeper pullback back up? It's not out of the cards, guys. Not out of the cards. But this is our line in the sand. So, like, if we get a 5-minute candle closure above 114, we can maybe look for higher prices, a rotation back up. But if it holds as resistance, I think lower. I think the next logical target would be low a day. And then after that, 24,957. So we'll see. We'll see. Thanks again. Are you coming live on the other TV later again? Yep. I will be live on ASFX TV at 1 o'clock. I just stay streaming, guys. I'm out here. But all right, guys. I think as far as bias, that's it for me. You know, if anyone has any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. If not, I think we might wrap up and, you know, rest up and get ready for tomorrow. Solid day, though. We caught a win, you know. I need to make 200 more bucks on my accounts. 200 more bucks to get my payout. So let's see. Maybe we'll hit it in the PM session. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, any more questions? If not, I guess we'll wrap up, you know. Really good stream. Like, again, Just recapping, dude, I really like Trader Drysdale. That dude's the man. Like I really liked that conversation. I think that's one of my favorites. I learned a lot from him. Yes, sir. Roach, I'm streaming tomorrow. Every day we are here on Prop Firm Match TV, on YouTube and on X. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday we are here. Awesome stream. Cool, cool. I'm glad you guys liked it. All right, guys. I'm going to bounce. So happy everyone enjoyed. And yeah, we'll just keep it running. We'll do this again tomorrow. Same time as always. Oh, yeah. Zamco. We'll get Zamco back on for sure, Shivam. Yeah, time to stretch, do some exercises. Yeah, and I got to eat some lunch, man. I'm starving. All right. I'm going to bounce, guys. Peace out. Peace and love. And we will see you tomorrow. Okay?